What is going on, Casually FC? Welcome to the call-in show. I am accompanied by my panel of Ahmed, Oliver, and Real Chris, me, myself, and I, the host, Marshalldbdx. Thank you so much for tuning in. Before we go ahead and get this show on the road, be sure to smash up the like buttons if you haven't done so already. It's like wiping your feet at the door. It's just proper etiquette here on YouTube, especially in the live stream world. Be sure to do so. If you haven't done so already, because I just checked out the analytics while Ahmed's dying of laughter. I just checked out the analytics. 30% of you guys that do watch the channel have not subscribed. The channel has been in a little bit of a limbo when it comes to the subscribership. So 2,272. Let's break this curse. Let's break this limbo. The 30% of you that are watching and haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? What are you doing? What do I have to do? Do I have to shave my head off so you can subscribe? Shave my head off?
I
shave
think
my hair?
I think you should do it.
Maybe. It'll be a momentous occasion if I do. But regardless of the fact, all I'm saying is, hey, 30% of you aren't subscribed. I don't know why. Maybe let me know in the comments why you haven't subscribed. But by all means, help the channel out by doing so. It's absolutely free to do so. Hit the bell notification as well so you don't miss out when we do these live streams as well. Check out the links in the description for the Ahmeds channel, who also is in limbo, who also needs to hit 1,000 subscribers. So go show us some love.
16, 1-6, please.
So let's just break the YouTube curse. All right, so let's break out of the YouTube limbo. Let's smash up the subscribes, the likes, and all that stuff. Also check out the all my links down below for all my other content, music, all that stuff. Discord's down there as well, Twitter, all the fun stuff down there. Leave a comment down below. Let us know what
I mean. Marshall,
yeah, OnlyFans. There's other forms and methods to support me and what I like to do here on YouTube. Feet pics, all that stuff is over there. Okay. Be sure to also check out the memberships. We have 4 different tiers starting at 99p. You get emojis out of it, other perks as well, like shout outs, first dibs on call-in shows as well. And also it helps out the channel tremendously. Big up to everyone who is a member. Big up to Vic, who is one of our members in the chat currently. I will also say, if you don't know this already, super chats and memberships get priority when it comes to the chat. So if you want me to read your chat more often, put it on the screen more often, then by all means, that is one way to help yourself in that instance, as I do prioritize those guys. But anyways, guys, today's the call-in show. We'll be doing the link in about 20 minutes or so. We do want to talk about the striker situation at Chelsea and the solutions that have been proposed via recent news and tweets. However, before we do that, and I think some of you guys in the panel are itching to talk about it, Man United just lost to Copenhagen in the Champions League. Not looking good for Man United, but also to Erik ten Hag. And this was discussed a little on the Discord, but if Erik ten Hag does get sacked, what are United going to do? That's what baffles me about the whole sacking them. Who are they going to get? Like Graham Potter? I don't think Zidane's going to go to Man United. I think that's such a pipe dream. Maybe Hansi Flick. Maybe Hansi Flick will go to United. But
I actually think United, ever since you've had that Radcliffe has come to their club, it feels like it's over for them as a big club. I'll be honest. They
lost 4-3 too. Jesus.
I feel like it's going to be like a decade of mediocrity for them. Honestly,
I think until they get rid of the Glazers, it's not nothing's going to change.
Bro, I've been thinking about this a lot more about the Glazer ownership, and I understand they take money at every club, but I don't think United have money. Yeah, compared to like Chelsea. They're actually a self-sustaining model where the club actually generates enough money for them to create transfer money.
So let me ask you this then. Why do you think they've been plummeting in success for the
because they don't spend it well
now?
They never spend it well.
It's the sporting directors they've had as well. They had that guy, remember that guy Woodward? He wasn't even a sporting director. He was basically a money maker for them. He was basically maximizing the United brand profit for profit essentially, right? And then
he's basically an accountant.
Yeah. So and then the new guy they've got, like I think is essentially similar. He's another, what's it called, accountant. So They're just making a lot of money, and then the Glazers take, of course, their share, which is a lot. But the money that's remaining is like 200 million, 300 million left. But then they obviously have been repaying that money back because they've got like 300 million apparently worth of debt in transfers. United apparently.
Oh, that's very scary. Like close, like
it's mad. Their debt is actually crazy.
Yeah.
But
do you think? If Saudi had taken over, do you think that would have solved their woes essentially?
Yes.
Because I feel like right now, Scott, I agree with you. I feel like right now, Chelsea are in a much better position when it comes to the direction of the club than United right now.
They are.
Because we hit the reset button. Chelsea hit the reset button.
Not even that. It's not even that, Ahmed. It's nothing to do with that. And it's the reason I said yes to the other question. It's because the Chelsea owners, like, say what you want about the mistakes that Bowley and Egbali have made, but our owners have ambition. Like, United owners and the people working at United have no ambition. That's why they'll fail, because there's no ambition. There's no goal. The goal is to make top 4, and they do that basically every season, and that's it.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
So, like, there's no ambition. Like, and that's the thing. That's why Chelsea are in a better position. That's why if they got the Saudis, they'd be in a better position. Even if Ratcliffe had, like, himself, like, even though he's not the best owner, if he'd been able to take over the whole club and the Glazers had left, even in that case, they'd be in a better position than what they're in at the moment.
So you guys, dumb it down to essentially the way the club has been structured, the people who they appointed to be a part of that structure.
They appointed a manager who was known for one style of play, a very successful style of play, did it to a successful level at a club. He came to United, brought in players to play that style of play, that system, diverted to the complete opposite way of playing.
Sure.
With the same players he bought to play a possession style football, and is then now complaining that he can't play his brand of football because he doesn't have the players when he has complete control over who they bring in.
That's what doesn't make sense to me too, is how does he do so well with less last season, and then this season when he's getting a little bit more support in terms of funding?
What makes it crazy? Worse. You know what makes it crazy, Marshall? He was the head of the transfer department this season. So essentially he brought in all these players because these are all his players. He's
go through all the players that he brought in, right? Go through all the players that they brought in. They brought in Onana to play again a possession style of football, which they haven't played so far this season.
A player that he's familiar with too.
Of course, and the thing with Onana is because the way he plays, you can play with a high line, which they don't play with. So that immediately negates like everything good about Onana. So you're just relying on him for shot stopping, which he's average at. You brought in a centre back in Martinez, who's good. Can't argue with that. A little bit of a temper problem, but he's good. Can't argue with that signing. You brought in Mount, who literally is Bruno. Like, you already had Bruno. You didn't need Mount.
I think they bought Mount for the press, though. Like, more the press. I thought they did that.
They've got Bruno who does
that, though. I know Bruno does press, but I think Mason Mount's still more end,
Yeah, but
Mount doesn't even play, though. That's the other thing.
He doesn't play because he doesn't fit, because you can't have a midfield of him and Bruno together. And I said that, and others said that before the season started, because they're the same player. Because Casemiro, as has already happened, is going to snap every bone in his leg and every muscle that he's got in his leg, which he's already done.
Hamstring gone, bro. His hamstring's gone. Casemiro, he's not back to, I think, February. Apparently, that's what they're saying now.
Yeah, I heard 2 months.
He brought in a winger that likes the ball to feet and is wanting him to play counter-attacking football. How does that work? You literally bought someone to the club. I think it's the most expensive signing in United history, who wants the ball, regardless of whether you think he's a good player or not. You bought in a guy who wants the ball to feet and to link up play, and you're trying to get him to play counter-attacking football. Explain how that makes sense.
Bro, they brought in a young striker that needs service. He's got Rashford and Anthony next to him. That's all I have to say.
Literally. And the thing is as well, with Ahmed, he's not like a hold-up play kind of striker, really. Exactly. Like, he's someone who wants to get in behind. But they don't play to his strengths. Like, they don't. If anyone wants to like understand the United problems, go and watch Rance's stream from like a couple of days ago. I think it was, with Flawless, and they talk about these things. Everything I'm saying now, they talk about it's a mess. Like, this guy's talent ID isn't in hell, bro.
He's
Let's
telling
have it right.
Eredivisie, bro. He's telling this Eredivisie, or I've played against you once.
Not even that. No, but the thing is, it's not even that. His talent ID is held. He can't even identify the talent he's getting. Like I said, he brought in a ball-to-feet winger to play counter-attacking football. That's literally those two things I've just said are diametrically opposed to each other. How can you have a ball-to-feet winger and get him to play counter-attacking football? So he has no talent ID. He can't ID the talent he's getting.
Where's Flawless when you need him?
Bro, Ten Hag when it comes to might be the biggest L I have to hold when it comes to a manager. I thought he was like, I thought he was the guy. I thought he'd be the guy when Pep left City. I thought he'd be the guy that replaced Pep at City, but no, he's fucking garbage.
Yeah. You know the moment. You know. There's a key moment as a manager, yeah, where you know, in my opinion, yeah, you have to live or die by your philosophy. This guy at United, yeah, after losing 4-0 to Brentford, he lost himself as a manager because he decided to play the same style of football essentially as Ole.
Didn't he lose 4-0 last season to Brentford though?
They lost 7-0. They got beaten by everyone.
That was like this first game as well.
No, but he lost 4-1. He lost 4-1 to Brighton, then he lost 4-0 to Brentford. But the point I'm making here, after those two games, he could have still stuck by his philosophy and still playing his style of football.
Do you know what's weird though?
Go ahead, bro.
Do you know what's weird by that, Ahmed? Is even last season, right, when they were playing counter-attacking football, it worked. So what did he do this season? Decided to go a weird middle ground where it's not quite counter-attack, it's not quite possession, it's some weird middle ground thing. And it looks worse. Yeah. So why don't you just go back to counter-attacking? Because it worked.
Oh my God. Yo, it is not a great night for Rashford. That's all I'm saying. Some crazy breaking news about Rashford. No, I'm not even talking about something else happened right now.
What?
Yeah.
There was a United fan on Lewis Watch Along who was trying to convince us to tell us that Rashford is better than all of Chelsea's attackers. He's dog shit. He is fucking awful.
He actually is, bro.
It's the one thing he relied on last season.
You know who Rashford is, bro? Guys, yeah, I've got a perfect player to Rashford, yeah, from Chelsea history. What's his name? Yeah, Kalou. You know what I mean?
That's disrespectful on Kalou. No.
I don't know. That's disrespectful.
No. I'm not saying Kalou's bad. I'm not saying Kalou's bad. I mean, in the sense that, you know, Kalou, when he started in playing in games, he wasn't that great, but we'd have these patches here where he would go on a goal scoring run and like produce really well. But obviously Kalou's overall game though was good. Like we'd be able to play and do what he needs to do, right? But like that's Rashford is like a junior version of that, where he can't play regularly a good performance game in, game out. But he also has these purple patches where he's scoring crazy amount of goals.
No, he's just shit.
Bro, if this is true, what you just said, Ahmed, just change United to Criminal FC, bro.
This is from Sam Wallace, by the way. Dude? Sam Wallace is very reliable. Yeah, Sam Wallace is like tier 1. Bro. Sam Wallace is like tier 1, bro.
Crime Rig FC, bro.
That top comment is fucking wild.
Yo.
Yeah, man, that's easy. That is crazy, man.
Oh, dude, this is insane. This club is. I do not envy Man United right now. This club is in absolute shambles, and it's a shadow. Man. It's a mere shadow. Even a shadow has more semblance of Man United than this right now. Bro, this is not the United I grew up with.
There is few things you want your club reputationally to be remembered for. Yeah, one of them is racism, and the other one, yeah, is just domestic violence against women. And United, yeah, is taking the absolute mickey when it comes to DV. Like, there's always someone that's got like a deep.
Ahmed, why are we surprised? Like, why are we surprised with this manager? I've said it before. Like, this when it comes to outside of football, this man is a piece of shit. Like, go and read his quotes about Mark Overmars after.
I know the Overmars quotes. Yeah, bro, I know the Mark Overmars.
Bro, that's wild to say. This man, like this man is a sexual. Like, I don't know. Obviously, the lady wasn't underage, but this man is a sexual predator.
Yeah,
he's owning his actions and backing him.
Wild stuff going on at United, but let's steer this towards Chelsea now. Let's talk about our striker situation, which we have talked about a little bit here and there. But there's been some new tweets and new revelations that have come out in the past week outside of the Casually Chelsea show and outside of our discussions that maybe bring a little bit more clarity as to the direction where the managers might go or what they're targeting in terms of the striker solution, because it's been made clear by Ornstein, which you see right here, that we are going to be going for a striker. Now, Chelsea are looking for a really elite level forward, a number 9 who, a number 9 or another attacker who can add more goals. Perhaps that's why Ivan Toney isn't at the top. Maybe a Harry Kane level forward, easier said than done. Not many in the market that are a Harry Kane level forward, but all right, maybe they're alluding to OSIMHEN. So let's read a little bit about OSIMHEN. Chelsea are one of the clubs well informed on the situation of Victor OSIMHEN. The intention remains to sign a new striker in 2024. This is coming from Fabrizio Romano via the YouTube channel. 1 second. Then the next tweet I have here, Chelsea will go for a striker in 2024. Let's see January or summer window. We mentioned OSIMHEN, but they also are monitoring TONEY. Then, more news on Toney from Miguel Delaney. Chelsea are expected to be one of the clubs that go for Brentford's Ivan Toney, with Nicholas Jackson and Armando Broja yet to fully convince as long-term options, which I think most of us would conclude that they have not been too convincing this season. Let's continue on. Ivan Toney would be an unusual Chelsea transfer target in several ways. He turns 28 in March, so he does not fit the age profile of recruitment strategy that has overwhelmingly focused on players 23 or younger, nor does he project as having huge untapped potential. That's coming from Liam Toomey from The Athletic, so it's a pretty reliable source.
Isn't OSIMHEN like 24 though?
He's like 23, I think.
Yeah,
I thought he's going to turn 24 after this season, surely. Basically.
24. He's 24.
Oh, he's 24.
He fits their age model. That's
like
the key thing.
I saw 23 under. I thought, wait, OSIMHEN's 24.
So I mean, this is the part that gets confusing for me, right? Because earlier in the season, we were reading tweets that I think even for Fabrizio, right, or even Ornstein, that the club were going to not only let Pochettino have more of a lead in terms of the transfer decisions, but also they were going to try to bring in more experience. So again, we have like two sides of the same story, that people are saying, oh, we're still doing this model, like Liam Toomey is saying here, we're still doing this 23 and younger model. And then on the other side of the spectrum, journals coming out and saying we're looking for more experience. So like, I mean, as of right now, where we left off with Ivan Toney and stuff, how do we feel about what they're saying here does not fit the age profile of recruitment?
Well, we know he doesn't though, because remember, we only go for 25 or younger. You know what I'm saying?
But okay, yeah, you're right in
that sounds
aspect.
crazy to say.
But what about this last part here? Hey.
Let's go backstage then, yeah? We'll go backstage.
Texas Blue Legal FC. Listen, but what do you think about this last part of the comment? Nor does he project as having a huge untapped potential. I don't know if I can agree with that.
What it means, I think, is that, you know, can he get to a world-class level? That's basically what they mean by untapped potential level, essentially. Does he have the ability to go 5 stars?
He is elite, though, I would say. Like that's where I'd put Ivan Toney.
Do you guys think he doesn't have the ability to go world class? Because I think he does. If he's surrounded by better players and a better team and a better system and a better manager.
Depends on your definition of world class is, because I'd argue when it comes to in the league, he's already world class. He's the second best striker in the league.
I mean,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
A lot of this stuff
No, I agree with what you're saying there. No, hold on. No, I agree with what you're saying. What I disagreed was in terms of the league, he's considered world class, because then you're putting him up there with a Kane and Haaland, right? If we're not looking at Kane this season, obviously, but let's say last season when he played, you know, Kane and Haaland, you would say world class.
Yeah, he was still competing with Harry Kane though, with goals and everything, and he's only playing for Brentford. Like Brentford are not a team what creates bags for chances. He doesn't have like world-class players around him or even elite players around him, and he's still the last like 2 seasons or so like he's played, like I'm pretty sure he's got above 20 goals in the league. Like that's very very good, I think, for a striker. I would have him.
I feel, and I think we all agree, maybe we all agree with this, I feel like you bring him into this Chelsea team, you give him an Enzo, you give him a Caicedo, you give him a creator in Sterling, say what you want, Palmer. then you have Harry Kane numbers. Then you get like close to
100%.
Haaland numbers.
Yeah, in theory.
I think there is untapped potential.
I just personally,
Tony has all of the. Tony has all of the. What's the word?
intangibles.
The measures.
Essentially,
Assets.
like he has all the things to hit, like in terms of do those same numbers. He has the killer instinct in front of goal to build up, like in terms of to be an all-round Harry Kane type level striker. Maybe not getting the ball quite as deep, but in terms of the link-up play, the goal scoring attributes, that's the fucking word.
Attributes.
Yeah, in terms of like the goal scoring, the killer instinct, the link-up play, the knowing where to be in the box, like all of that stuff, he has all of that. Like, and the fact that I think Chris mentioned it, like this guy was still putting up numbers, like big numbers. I'm not normally a numbers guy, right? When it comes to goals and assists, but he was still picking up big numbers playing for Brentford last season.
Even Scott, like
I think that's impressive too.
I talk about his numbers, but even on the ball and everything, like his link up, I will let you go, Ahmed, after. It's like link up and his ability on the ball and I think is quite good as well itself. So like that's why I think it's like world class elite type striker.
What are you gonna say, Ahmed?
Yeah, I understood to say that, it's all well and good of us talking about him like that, but I just feel like, the way that it's been talked about by a lot of these Chelsea journalists, it seems that we're not going for him. So I don't know, man.
Well, then let's discuss someone that it seems that we are going for, although it seems unlikely in January. But let's see, because there is a little bit of news working in our favor when it comes to Victor OSIMHEN. So let's see. Chelsea want another striker in 2024, but no decisions have been made about whether it will be in January or summer. There is faith in Nicholas Jackson and Armando Broja, and the club feels that Christopher Nkunku's return could make all the difference. It's coming from Ben Jacobs. Ben, Chelsea are keeping an eye on Ivan Toney. Napoli do not want to sell Victor Osimhen in January, not even for a crazy bid, according to Fabrizio Romano as of last week. Then there were a few other tweets prior to that Fabrizio Romano also reported that seemed to kind of contradict that. But let's see. Napoli president De Laurentiis on Victor Osimhen. We verbally agreed on new deal in August. Then if things change on his side, life goes on. There's always next time. 2025 contract. Remember, I sold Koulibaly to Chelsea 1 year before the end of his deal. So what are you alluding to?
Yeah, thanks for that, mate.
The way that the Napoli ultras in my YouTube like chats, they've been calling me a liar, fake news, and everything, and that he's not getting sold. So if you listen to the Napoli ultra in my chat, he's saying it's not happening.
I think you might be right, but let's continue on. Reports in Italy state that Victor Osimhen and his agent Roberto Calenda have not taken De Laurentiis' comments well amid the standoff over his contract. This is coming from Standard Sport. Then we have another Nazar Kinsella reporting. I think that Victor Osimhen is trying to force his way out of Napoli, but Napoli are very good at holding firm and don't really get bullied by their players. I think that'll be tricky to get Osimhen in January. And we'll come back to discuss this fella here. yeah. Let me bring it back. We have some call-ins already. Big up to Jason and big up to Deluded Chelsea fan. Welcome to the show. What do you guys have to say about whatever we're discussing, or what do you guys want to discuss? We'll start off with Jason, because I know, Jason, you've been a little antsy to get on the show. So
I've been down to go on this show. So thank you for letting me come on.
Of course. What are you saying, brother?
I'm saying that I don't want Toney at Chelsea, not because I don't think he's good enough. I just want someone that's a legit world-class player. It's not going to be like an OSIMHEN type of quality player. I don't want him at Chelsea for this front line at all. I don't want to have like 20. I don't want to have like someone who's 28 right now. I don't want to have someone that's 28. That's a maybe. I need someone that's going to be with the 25 age and it's going to hit straight away. So for me, it's OSIMHEN or nothing.
Okay.
Wait, or just Jackson? I don't want to rely on Jackson for another season. I can't lie.
I mean,
we need to get someone else in.
Well, I mean, what did we really expect? What did we really expect from Jackson? Because he's 22.
No, I don't expect a lot from Jackson. I didn't expect a lot of goals because he's never really done that in his previous league. So
he's been like a
but
pro
that's what
for
I mean.
like 1 or 2
We need
years
another
now.
striker. But like,
that again, Jason?
I think Jackson's. How long has Jackson been a pro for? Like 2 seasons, 2 or 3 seasons for?
3 or so, yeah.
Like I think you have to look at the board as well, because to expect someone that's been a pro for 3 seasons to come to Chelsea, like a massive club, and to be a starting striker already is a bit ridiculous, to be fair, but is what it is.
It's not only just a like.
I
main
thought,
striker,
but the Jackson thing, but the thing with Jackson was, from what we were at least hearing, was that he was meant to be there for the last 6 months, for the first 6 months, and then they were going to bring in someone in January.
Well, at the very least, we were going to reassess in January.
Yeah,
but the thing is, if we're reassessing in January, then it's Tony then, because OSIMHEN ain't happening in January.
We can't
Like,
bring
it just
in
ain't happening in January.
Tony. I don't care. We can't bring in Tony.
Then
Like,
it's
me,
Jackson the whole season then. And then we need
I'd
to reassess.
I'd rather Jackson the whole season. I'm not gonna lie.
Then we need to reassess
Let
where
him
we're finishing top 4.
Yeah, we're not gonna get top 4. We're not gonna get. Our hope for the season was top 5 because like maybe Newcastle would get through their groups. Not let's look at unlikely now, but yeah, man.
Right, if we can't, would you not take Tony for, like, say for example, 70, 80 million tops? Like,
I don't think 80 million for Tony. You're crazy, man.
he's a very good striker. Like, he's
I
one of the top
promise you-
strikers in the Premier League.
Yeah, that's cool, but I promise you that guy does not move the needle for Chelsea at all. I don't care what anyone
Whoa!
says. He doesn't move the needle. I don't care. He doesn't move the needle for Chelsea.
Talk to me, deluded Chelsea fan. What are you feeling about that?
Yo, I can't agree with that. Like, I'm not like on one side or the other about Tony or OSIMHEN. Like, I think that either one would be good for us. At this point, I don't know, because look at the past strikers that we've had. We've all thought like at least one of them was gonna be that guy, but none of them have been that person. So like at this point, I'm like, no, whatever happens, happens. If you're good, you can play. But I think Tony's pretty good.
By this same token, by the way, sorry to interrupt. By this same token, OSIMHEN scored more than 20 goals once in his career, and it was last season. So he ain't world class either. Then there's no world class striker out there that we're getting. So
I don't think it's so much Tony.
First, we know what we're getting with Tony.
One of the reasons why I've been holding out on OSIMHEN is that I needed to see him replicate what he did last season, this season, right? And the thing with Tony is that the worry for me is that obviously he's not playing in 8 months. Now, yes, he's training. Yes, he might be playing behind closed door games and stuff. But how sure are we, come January when we buy him in, he's going to be ready and raring to start for us? If that makes sense, because he's not going to be
Let's say we buy Tony. So what's the goals then? We have to readjust the goals then. Our objectives.
Champions League.
We're not playing Champions League with Tony.
I think we compete with Tony. If Tony
I think Champions League is done. Like, I think it depends on what happens in December. Depending on what happens in December and how we come out in January, like if we could get Tony and we're in a good spot, then yeah, Champions League. But if
currently, guys,
we're not getting Champions
League. Currently, because we need 5th spot currently as Chelsea to get into what's it called, UCL
Champions League.
We are currently, if I'm not mistaken, how many points are we on? 6. I think we're on 15 points. Aston Villa right now, they're the ones in 7 points currently. There's literally 7 points. Only 2. So essentially, there's 2 games. We've got a 2-game difference of Aston Villa right now, right?
3.
And like the worst of the Chelsea run is essentially over. After Man City, all we've got left now is Newcastle and United, essentially. And those are new
clubs, I think.
Right, and then after that is back to essentially back to square one where we're facing these mid-table and lower mid-table teams. So I think for Chelsea, if you can handle that the next month, get yourself some wins.
We haven't shown any like signs that we can handle any mid-table team. So what?
I agree with you. But the point I would make, the point I'm making, Jason, is that if we are able to, again, because if you watch the channel, you know what my thoughts are. If we are able to weather that storm until January and bring in Tony, who has got that experience, then maybe you can make the argument that okay, you've got the guys now, you've got the team now, you can build on that. And then remember, a lot of these teams now are going to be in the last round of 32 or round of 16 in the Conference League and then the Europa League too, with a lot of these Brightons, the Aston Villas. Who else is there that's in that? Newcastle.
West Ham.
Going to be the West Ham. Yeah, so then, you know what I'm saying? So then, it's there's something there at the very least.
So, Curry Pirate, I want to hear what you have to say. You just joined in. Welcome to the show, brother. What are you saying about everything?
Pick up Curry, man. Nice to see you, bro.
Nice to see you guys. I think I'm fine with either choice, to be honest. I think if we really, it depends on how Nkunku comes in and plays. What I mean is, so after this international break, he should be healthy. I'm not saying we start him right away because it's going to be Newcastle, a physical game. But I think the upcoming games that we really need him for are the games after United, right? Because after Newcastle is Brighton, which is going to be an expansive team. Then it's going to be United with, apparently Ten Hag doesn't want to play Varane for some reason. And I just don't trust that team right now. So it's really going to be how Nkunku plays December 10th for us, I say, against the likes of Everton and Sheffield United. And these teams in December, basically, until, basically the Luton game, which is December 30th. So if we start breaking down teams more thanks to his creativity and goal scoring, then I would just say, you know what, really push for the Champions League. Let's get Toney now, right? But if we're still struggling with this whole low block situation, I would just say, since I don't know what our finances would be, but if we're still in January transfer window, this whole non-EPL ban with the 8-year amortization, I would just go to Napoli and be like, hey, we don't need OSIMHEN now, but here's the 140. You're going to have time to select your next striker we want him to join in July. Right? Now you have 140 million, right? Yeah. We can amortize that over 8 years because we can't do that after this January window, right? So you can amortize that for 8 years once again, finally, right? Pay 140 million, whatever, 130, and they have the entire basically 4 months to choose who their next replacement is going to be, and they can scout him.
But this is the thing, and I agree. I think your plan and your idea, Curry, sounds fantastic on paper. The only issue I have is that what Ahmed alluded to earlier. I want to see OSIMHEN do this a second season in a row. I don't want to, because I hate to compare it, but it's similar to how Liverpool jumped the gun on Darwin Núñez. Now, is Darwin Núñez a bad striker? I'm not saying he is, but last year he definitely didn't hit the ground running, and this season he's looking a little bit better, but he's struggling to get a place, a consistent place in that Liverpool lineup. So it's just one of those, can OSIMHEN, and I have reasons to believe that he can. Can OSIMHEN replicate that kind of form in the Premier League? Go ahead.
So what makes you want to jump the gun on Toney then? He scored 12 goals last season.
So here's the thing, and I'm glad you brought that up, Jason. The thing with Toney is that all right, maybe he's 80 mil, fine. The thing with Toney though,
crazy price.
Maybe you're not necessarily wrong. I think that's a little bit high for Toney, but at the same time, what we get with Toney, when this is going back to this comment earlier, I don't think with Toney you're just getting goal scoring ability. I think with Toney you're getting link up play as well, and really good link up play. I think he's a much more active striker. He's not just your traditional number 9 like an Erling Haaland that's just going to sit in that striker position and just score you goals whenever. He will build up play with you. He's almost similar in that sense to what I would think Nkunku does when he comes into this team. Except when it comes to finishing, I believe Toney is better.
So what do you think OSIMHEN does then? Because these are some of the things, and actually gets you 20 goals a season in a Champions League team.
The thing is, though, I just want to see Victor OSIMHEN do that a second season in a row. I've seen Ivan Toney do that for the last 2 seasons. Go ahead, Curry. You were going to say something?
No, I was saying you could think of Toney as better finishing Jackson, right? We say Jackson's great with this whole link-up play. He brings in players, but his finishing is shit. And with Toney, you also get aerial threat that we know Jackson does not have. So all these, when we do want to do sometimes cross and inshallah, we might actually get something somewhere with our striker, right? That's the advantage I would say with Toney, just in general, right? Especially for 80 million. Yes, I know 80 million isn't a lot, but once again, we can amortize that for another 8 years. He's only 27, 28. Let's be honest, if he's playing well enough for us for another 2 to 3 years, I do not care. Because if we're going to be in the Champions League or European top spots, he's going to pay for himself. Right? Because we need to get our money back. Because here's the thing, we have a lot of investment in young players. So let's say in the summer we sell Gallagher because we have a Cassidy or something, right? We have a lot of reinforcements in terms of youth players that we've bought from last transfer window and the one previous, with a lot of midfielders and defenders. But I think Fofana's hit and miss. We are seeing attitude problems, right? He scored today, but we've seen attitude problems throughout right now with the Fofana. Union Berlin. Washington, we've seen nothing of, right? Angelo once again is like a left mid, a left winger. He's a winger basically. So once again, we don't have a for sure striker, young prospect that we're seeing blossom, right? Fofana is kind of like that. We're hoping. He has hits and misses like everyone should who's 18, but his attitude problems are what's causing me the most concern as a prospect. So that's what I'm saying, I'm fine with either. And right now, OSIMHEN, you could say he's not performed, but the thing is, since he joined Lille when he was like 19, he's continued to improve. And Lille had Champions League in 1 year, and then he went to Napoli, and he would have Champions League sometimes too. So he's been playing Champions League since he was at least 19. And in a different league such as France, which we said was similar in terms of physicality to the Prem, and he did decent there, then got the buyout to Napoli, and he's continued to progress. I don't think Napoli is doing as well as last season. Obviously, that's why he's not on as many goals, because one, the coach is gone, right? So the entire system is different. So right now he's on 6 goals compared to Altaro, who's on 12. But that's, again, you're missing Kim Min-jae, who's gone, and you have a completely different coach.
Wait, I got a
very
question.
Last year.
I got a question, yeah. So if you could get Lautaro for 80 million or Tony for 80 million, who are you picking?
Tony. Come
I
on.
would choose Tony.
Tony, no
Tony.
question, bro.
Tony and Anglo.
You lot are funny. Oh my days.
I do like.
Question.
Martinez is doing pretty well this season.
I've watched Lautaro Martinez play as a single striker for Argentina, and Alvarez made him look.
Yeah, when he was
That man
injured. When he
shot
was
his
injured.
pants in the World Cup.
He was ass. He was terrible.
But even there,
As a single
he's never
striker, yeah,
performed well as a
he
single
hasn't really done
striker.
it.
He was injured during the World Cup, by the way.
No, but even
But the thing is,
he's never performed
the thing
for
is, in
Argentina
general,
once.
Jason, if you're going to play Lautaro Martinez, he has shown that he works best in a 2. So you need to have another striker or secondary striker with him. And the thing is, at Chelsea, with the style of play we're playing and the formation we're playing, we don't really have that for him at this moment in time. So there's no point of us bringing in a striker if we're not going to play to his strengths. So that's why for me, Lautaro Martinez is probably
We don't think you play in Nkunku.
No, because the thing for me, I want Nkunku to be playing the 10 role. I don't need him to be playing second striker. Nkunku's the one that you brought in, the big money signing to be, to play in his position. I think at Chelsea, one of the things.
So let's say Nkunku does come back here, and we don't have Tony, so we stick with Jackson. What role do you think he's going to play in? Because in preseason, even though I don't like taking preseason that too seriously, he's literally playing as a second striker and not as a 10.
We tried him in many different roles in preseason.
I remember Poch literally just telling him to stay up the pitch, not being involved in build-up.
Yeah,
the thing is that we tried him in different roles though. We tried him as a striker, we tried him as a number 10, we tried him as a left winger. You can't take anything from he played here once, because he played virtually everywhere in the entirety of the preseason, and then he got injured.
In the 4th game, he got injured.
Yeah,
that's what I said.
He was playing on the left wing when he got injured.
But same with Levi Cole. Levi Cole never played left back in preseason, and then now he's playing left back.
Yeah, well, that's evidence that you can't take anything from preseason.
That's the point I'm trying to make, though. Like, I think when it comes down to it, Nkunku should be playing in the natural position of the number 10 role, and then you have the main striker that should be in front of him, and that's how it should be.
That would be a good attack right there.
That's it, and this is the thing. I think for me, Gallagher. I've said this before, respectfully, even though I have respect for Gallagher. He's essentially been a placeholder there up until Nkunku comes. Once Nkunku comes back, you're more than likely to see Gallagher hold bench. And then you actually have Nkunku, the left winger, the right winger, and then the striker up front.
I'm not gonna lie. You're talking to a Gallagher guy here, and I'll be honest. In January, he's getting sold. I'll be real. Once Lavia comes back, and the midfield will be Lavia, Caicedo, Enzo, he'll be sold. I'll be real. I can admit that, but
I don't think it'd be January.
Right now, he'll be undroppable in this team.
Sorry, Jason, with your final point with regards to Martinez, I'm looking at Martinez, and whenever he's played with, once again, a physical striker like he did with Lukaku, aka Thuram.
Yeah.
We do not have that in Jackson or in Broja. So even if you want to bring in Lautaro, now you have 2 second strikers.
We're going to try to. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
But he gets injury prone. He's injury prone, right? So we can't rely on that. So now you have 2 second strikers who want to bounce off another striker, and you're not going to have that if you have Nkunku and Lautaro. That's why you would need a Tony.
This was brought up in the comments earlier, but we didn't need a striker in January regardless, because otherwise we're going to go a month without one, or a month and a half.
Do we call back
Yeah,
Fofana?
like,
Striker Fofana.
That's under 21 Ivory Coast big man, so he might be
gonna
going
say,
even to Africa too.
Bro, he's also not playing great at Berlin anyway. So like,
Is he not?
Hey, man,
just
he
let
got
him
the equalizer
play
today,
He
man.
scored
He got the
tonight, but he's not been great.
Yeah.
I'll propose this, and let me cook here. All right. I know we want to play Nkunku as a 10. We got him as a 10. He's supposed to be our out and not number 10. But at this moment right now, Jackson is not hitting the... Listen, despite the hat trick, I don't care what anyone says. Jackson is not hitting the ground running like we expected him to. What if...
Listen, I disagree, bro. You know, I think... Listen, I said to you guys, yeah, at the start of the season, that Jackson is only going to net you 5 to 10 goals. Currently, he's on 5 goals in the EPL this season. So,
we'll get 10.
I thought
he will probably get double digits. I think for me this season, right? The problem is,
hold on. Let me just cook real quick. Let me land on this one, okay? And you can tell me if there's a problem with this lineup. I'm saying, and I agree. I think Gallagher will get dropped. I say we have Palmer as a 10, Sterling on the right, Mudryk on the left, and then we play Nkunku as a striker. And I think that formation could be something that could cook because you have your best attackers on the pitch.
Nope.
You don't love Mudryk.
Again, you're not playing these guys in their right positions. You're not playing these guys in their right positions.
We've seen Nkunku play as a striker once, which was that game in pre-season. He looked meh, and that's it.
And also, you have to also look at the team. Look at the guys. Look at the defenders he's facing in the Premier League compared to the defenders he's going to be facing in the Bundesliga.
And do you actually kind of ruin the aspect that would be valuable to us in terms of running into the box? Because the one time he did play as a 10 with Jackson in preseason, he came in late and scored that goal, and we said he didn't play well, but he scored the goal, right? We need a player who runs into the box as a fox in the box. So if you put him as striker, you're first limiting his creativity, I feel like, because now he has to deal with the defender on his back at all times, and he's not going to find pockets of space, and he's not going to have like in the box like space at all. That's why I think if we, like you guys are saying, we need a striker, just go for Toney. Jackson's young; he's only 21. Maybe he can learn from him. By the time Toney's 30 in 2 years, right? Then maybe Jackson's developed by the time he's 23, 24, and now you've got it. You've got the succession. You don't need to spend another 100 million on someone.
But I mean, okay, I get what you're saying. In an ideal world, I don't want to play Nkunku as a number 9, but Duvan is right. He has come out and said he likes to play as a striker. He has played as a striker at Leipzig. I think he has more potential for scoring goals for us than Jackson does. I think he has more finishing ability. We've seen it in the preseason, and obviously take preseason with a pinch of salt. But go ahead, Scott.
Just going to point something out. Havertz said the same thing.
And I just want to...
I was going to say, man, we're going to be making a video in 3 years saying we failed in Nkunku.
Havertz said the same thing about I prefer playing as a 9. I can play anywhere in the attack. All this nonsense.
So what do you Lukaku said that as well, man. But let's not go there.
Every report that came out said the plan is to play this guy as a 10. That's what he was bought as. That was apparently part of the reason why we didn't get Felix, outside the fact he just would have been expensive as well. This was meant to be our marquee piece, our centerpiece in the team. So now you're just going to play him out of position to fill another place. No, fuck that. Play him in position and just go and get a suitable replacement at striker. Like, I don't care if it's OSIMHEN, it's OSIMHEN. If it's OSIMHEN, we got to go the whole season without a striker, like a world-class one. If it's Toney, you go and get him in January. I don't care. Just go and get a proven striker.
I just want to make the point.
Go ahead, Ahmed.
I just want to make the point, like, one of the things that we've talked about, is that, decision making. Sterling, CTE Sterling, as I like to call him, you know what I mean? He makes one good decision. The rest of them, you know what I mean? We know about that, right? Obviously, about the other guy, Cole Palmer's, obviously, he's been really good this season. He's been helping to create some chances. Let's not get it twisted, but again, he's young, right? And then, obviously, Jackson, he's went through the finisher. So, other than that, we don't really have a guy that's helping us in that final third, helping us to continue to make, chances for us. And that's what Nkunku should be. That's why we need Nkunku in the tunnel. So at least create as many chances as we can. And if we can at least put 1 or 2 of those in, until we get that main striker in, then I don't think that's a problem, honestly. In the
So
short
about
term.
you think on the left?
Nope.
No,
Why not?
because
I feel like
we already have two
you already
left
got someone
wingers.
you already have like someone like Mudryk there who you're literally been trying to play. Obviously, when he's not been injured recently, week in week out, who's actually started to play really well. Barring obviously, I know he's Tottenham
And you already
Premier,
have Sterling
wasn't that
as well,
great.
Ahmed.
Yeah,
And the
listen,
pace of Mudryk and Sterling allows the pocket of space that Nkunku needs to create and make those runs.
exactly.
If you put him on the left, you're limiting once again the key reason we need him is for creating that pocket of space and on also goal scoring on chances that maybe Nicholas Jackson, if we keep him, will miss. Right?
So I agree with what you're saying, bro. But like, if we're not going to have or if we're moving Nkunku to the midfield or like the center attacking midfield, where is Palmer going?
Right wing.
He's still in the right wing.
right
He's
wing,
always
yeah.
played. He's been playing that where Gallagher's in the cam role. No? Technically, that's
Yeah, Gallagher's
Because the way we've been playing is that you have the pivot of Caicedo, Enzo, Gallagher 10, Palmer right wing, Mudryk it will be either Mudryk or Sterling on the left, and then it was Jackson up front. That's how we've been playing.
Oh, so we're just replacing Gallagher then?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
that's what I've been saying.
Literally, you replace Gallagher with Nkunku, and then the whole plan, or it should be, is in January you replace Jackson with like Toney or OSIMHEN or something, someone at that level. Like there can be others. Like if Ben's once a year in the Prem, you fuck it, why not? Like you just go and find a solution.
You actually get Ben. Yo, you know what, man? Short term, 6
Hey,
months.
no, do you know what it is, bro? I'm going off what that report from David Ornstein said, where they said they want a Harry Kane level striker. Bro, there's about 3 of those in world football right now, maybe 4. Like, so I'm going off what was said.
I can't lie to you, man. Ben's for 6 months, yeah, on loan
I'll
from
take
the
him
Saudi
out.
league.
Heartbeat, bro.
I can't lie, man. That
Ben's
might actually be the
this
way.
brother, he'll score
I would
any
take
type of goal for us. Any type of goal.
6
Hey,
months,
bro.
Ben's. Mashallah, man.
Hey, there's
You know
really
what?
no
We might
chance.
need
Like,
my
there's no chance, but hey, man's got a dream.
Man can dream. I mean, speaking of dreaming, by the way, just to stir up the pot, and I think our friend Jacob Huggins was onto something. These tweets came out, and again, I'm just stirring the pot here, okay? Let's just talk about this just really quickly. Jose Mourinho is expected to leave Roma at the end of the season, and Tammy Abraham would follow him back at the Premier League.
Jose, you can't be the next man.
Wait. First of all, what Premier League club's taking Jose?
I don't know.
What do you say following back to the Premier League?
Roma value Tammy Abraham at 52 million euros, and it remains to be seen if Chelsea will be interested in bringing him back. Roma will do anything to sign Romelu Lukaku permanently in 2024, according to 86 Longo. So,
swap.
Just have both.
Would you guys do a swap?
No.
No way.
No.
Well, hang on.
I'm only bringing it up the conversation. Why not?
Because I want another young striker.
I'm telling you right now.
You want someone that can put the ball at the back of the net?
I'm telling
Yes,
you right
well,
now.
but he's
Abraham
streaky, just
and
like
Jackson are on
Jackson.
the same level. I don't care what anyone says.
By the way, I heard someone mention young striker. Tammy's 26. He's not young.
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah, true.
Scrap that.
Run away from
Scrap
Tony.
that. Scrap all of that. Scrap all of that. We're talking about post ACL Tammy Abraham.
Oh, even true. That's even
I forgot. I did forget about
Yeah.
that.
The only thing this man can do is make runs into the box, and he can't do that anymore.
Go ahead, bro. My bad.
So no.
Fair
This,
point.
I can't even believe we're entertaining this.
I'm
can't
thinking
even
man
believe
together
it.
with Lukaku,
News
but
is
then
news.
I'm seeing in this tweet, by the way.
I'm seeing
this tweet. Roma will do anything to sign Lukaku. It's as simple as this, man. 38 million. Just pay up.
Yep.
You'll do anything. Do anything. Pay up.
they do
By the way, who's that goalkeeper?
Rui Patricio.
Patricio, yeah.
All right.
Don't even think about it.
Because I was going to say, why not we swap one of their star players for Romelu?
Nah, apparently Patricio ain't that good for them. I've heard Roma fans say that.
No, but like
Yeah,
anyone
with
in
50 of
general,
you guys
who's their
watching.
main players besides Dybala and Lukaku?
I think
Well,
I would
Zaniolo
take a
would
swap.
do
No,
it.
Sola's still there.
Aston Villa, so I don't know.
Or again, you what Marshall? What is it with you and like post ACL or like post major injury players?
Hey,
Listen,
you'll be saying never
5
bench of us.
euros. Yeah. Might as well. You're not wrong. By the way, 50 of you guys watching, be sure to smash up the like button if you haven't done so already. Smash up the like button if you want Tammy to come back, or if you want Lukaku to stay over there.
Hey.
Ruin my chances of getting the likes.
Damn.
Yeah, you did.
Dude, you're gonna get dislikes now.
I was thinking Dybala swap, but I'm thinking Dybala's dirt cheap anyway. Like
No, but Dybala. His agent's been trying to pimp him to us for
I know he
5
can't.
years.
I know he can't keep.
This man can't complete 10 league games.
I
What are
wouldn't.
you talking about?
I wouldn't swap anyway because Lukaku's value to Dybala's value is just not the same. So I wouldn't swap.
The
it, but
problem is Roma don't really have like a standout player for us to go, you know what, let's do a straight swap.
they got
So it's
no
better
one
to
for
get
me.
cash for him.
Did we swap Al Sharawi for him?
No thanks.
Nah, maybe about 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
Yeah,
Sorry, Marshall. I think you know what.
they have no one.
If we're doing
Okay.
40 chests, we should bid for Tammy Abraham. So then Arsenal can get him.
Yes.
Because they need
Yes.
a striker, right? They need a striker, right?
They do.
Let's put in a 40 million euro bid, and then 50
I mean, if they're after a
euros
striker,
for
why not go for Lukaku? They're always after our
But
sloppy seconds anyway.
but here's the thing about the striker situation with Arsenal is that I feel like it's more than likely. You guys say they're not going to pay up. I think they will. I think it's more than likely Ivan Toney goes to Arsenal.
Yeah,
I
it is.
disagree.
No, I don't think
I
so.
I mean,
think we can-
taking the January of this year as evidence, they won't, because they needed a goal scorer this January, and they bought Jorginho and Trossard.
and
Declan Rice.
No,
January.
But
Oh, January. Okay.
But the thing is, that with Raya, because of financial fair play, that's why they're doing the loan. They're doing.
Oh,
the
yeah,
3
good
million
point,
loan With the buy option of 25 million, because financially they can't afford it. Apparently, they have to have a sale of 10 to 15 million pounds for the January window, and we all know Chalobah's probably going, and we kind of already have money in the bank with Lewis Hall with that whole loan to buy option. And it's going to be the last window where we can amortize, so we can outbid anyone once again, one last time, one last hurrah with that amortization. So if we go for bidding war, we're going to win if we actually care enough.
I'll just say on the amortization thing, because I forgot to say this earlier when we were talking about Toney. There is no way I'm putting a 28-year-old on an 8-year contract.
Yeah.
There is no way that is happening.
About 6 years.
No. I mean,
No,
definitely
he's
not gonna be
probably
lower
going to be the
than
only
5.
5-year contract. It'll probably be
know-
5 years and he'll probably go on cheap.
We know Todd Bowley. He's definitely doing 5 minimum. Like that's at the lowest.
I
he's
mean,
gonna do.
we all know Todd Bowley is going to try going for Mbappe if the reports are true. Because he wants a statement signing.
Yeah, yes.
There's no
I
one
have
bigger
no
than him.
problem with that.
I have no problem with
Yeah,
Mbappe.
no problem with
No
that.
problem.
20 million
Mbappe
right
can
now.
come through to the bridge, bro. He can come through.
Plus, he sells a lot of T-shirts for you as well. It's a win-win. For me.
Exactly, man. That's like if you want a statement signing an elite striker, he's the only one that's out there that's gonna be available. So
I
if you're
don't know
gonna
how
go big, go big or go
true,
home.
like, the Real Madrid thing is, but if that's true, then Todd Bowley should be like onto that. I think he should be onto that over like even Osimhen.
Immediately.
If it's true anyway, because I don't know how true that is, like the striker situation. Because I feel like they still need a striker.
They do.
So,
Real Madrid, yeah, they do.
Yeah,
They're
so I don't-
gonna go
I-
all in for Mbappe. There's no way they don't.
unless they're just trying to fool people, that no one's gonna go for him, and then they just swoop in with a decent, I don't know, bid, 150 million or whatever it's gonna cost him.
I don't
But-
see Real Madrid not putting their hands in the bid for an OSIMHEN or a Mbappe.
Oh, 100%.
I don't know how.
Yeah,
No,
more
especially
like-
Mbappe, because Mbappe is not gonna cost a single penny. It's just his wage.
Yeah, but Perez has lots of pride, right? And Mbappe rejected them. So they can just be like, I have 100 million that I was going to spend on Mbappe. I'd rather just go for OSIMHEN. Here we freaking go. He's going to
He
come
doesn't have that much pride. If Mbappe says he wants to go to Real Madrid,
in. Dude, they
they'll
won a
say-
Champions League without
He
him.
can.
They won a
The
Champions
only
League
thing that can make it
without
happen is
Mbappe.
the player when it comes to contract.
Yeah, and they won a Champions League without him. This fraud can't even win. But he said he
Jesus
wanted
Christ.
Messi and Neymar out because he wanted.
Hey,
his team.
listen, man. I
That's
would,
all I'm saying.
bro.
That's all I'm
PSG as a whole institution's a fraud, man.
yeah.
Because Thiago
That's
Silva and
PSG.
Thomas Tuchel won the trophy with us, man.
That's PSG, bro. That's not Mbappe. You saw what he did at the World Cup final. It's
yeah,
not
but I
for
also
everyone.
saw how he did nothing for
Bro,
Newcastle.
Mbappe is a
and
player
yesterday
that
playing,
could get you
so-
40 to 50 goals a season, man. We need someone like that.
Yeah. It's not Mbappe. It's LSG.
Oh yeah, they also have Henrik, who's literally like the biggest prodigy since Neymar, like straight up, and he's killing it in the Copa Libertadores at 16.
I mean, is he gonna like? I don't know. Isn't that a little bit too much of a burden to put on a kid though? Just to
They
have
did that to
him
Vinny.
be the
They
solution.
literally did that to Vinny and Rodrigo.
Yeah, but they hate Vinny.
Who do?
The fans hate Vinny at least.
No, they don't.
No, they don't.
I feel like
they-
a good portion.
hate
He's gone
Ronaldo.
through so many
They
racism issues
hated,
over
they
it.
hated,
No.
they hated Vinny in the first season
First
because
2
he
years.
was
when
a-
he-
Yeah, under Zidane.
Yeah. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
opponent fans hate him now because they're racist as shit, and he's kicking
Yeah,
their
yeah,
ass.
yeah. Listen, man, they're throwing bananas at him, man.
Yeah, that's a
Crazy.
different thing. Yeah.
That's so fucked, bro. That's so fucked up.
Hey, man, you need
But,
to do the Danny Alves thing, man. See the bananas, you know what I mean? Listen, that's what Danny Alves did, bro. And he whipped in a nice little cross, then it was assist.
Yeah, it was one. Yeah.
Thank you for the energy, man.
Hey, listen, man, this
so
channel needs an out of
fucked up.
context moment, man.
Yo,
Hey, so make it out of
chill out.
context, bro, and start clipping up.
That's so fucked. But I don't know. I feel like that's too much pressure to put on just the youngster to just like lead the lines at Real Madrid and the attack in the striker position. I feel like they are still gonna go for like a well-known, renowned, like marquee signing striker. I mean, I don't disagree. Endrick is the future center forward, I'm sure, but like we saw what
Did you see
happened.
his
Like
goal recently? Did you see his goal recently? By the way, Marshall.
Yeah,
no,
I did.
not at all.
Yeah, out of the
That
two,
was a
yeah.
crazy goal. He scored a crazy goal where he essentially did the touch here, where he used like his actual like shin
Knee.
here,
Yeah.
and then
Mhm.
he hit it down to the ground to
do a
like
fake
dip
shot.
the ball.
Oh, the
and then
bounce.
bang. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous, bro. That
That
was
sounds
shit.
like
Was
a good goal.
ridiculous.
I have to look
Because
into
like you
it.
know,
It sounds
the
impressive.
thing right now is because of that the centre forward market has been dry. Now there's like talents that are starting to come out now where for that market. So you know, listen, Chelsea, you know what I mean, use that scouting department wisely.
I'm saying we want that next big thing, definitely.
The
Wait,
problem is the
West Ham.
problem right now. The problem right now, who is that next big thing? Because obviously you've got Sesko, Jimenez,
No one knows, bro.
you know, and like
And-
the thing.
But the thing is, Ahmed, with that, is like because I see people talk about, oh, let's go and get Sesko. These will be the same people complaining that we've got no experience in the team and we've got the youngest team in the league because we've
That's what I
got
was gonna
20
say,
old
too.
striker.
Like, even if you get any of these like talented strikers through the scouting, like, listen, Jackson could be one of those guys, but are we going to be patient enough to wait for these players to come good?
No.
It's
Well,
not
like,
just
you know,
that much.
Chelsea,
I don't
These
know.
are going to be
I
tolerated.
personally don't understand what people expect in the season because I always thought this season was going to be the season of like transition where we get these guys to a
I
level
agree.
where they're able to. But like,
I
I
agree.
don't know,
I
like,
think so.
I
I
have-
agree. I think that's what this season is going to be. But what happens next season? Like, we want to start competing. You know, we want to start
You know,
really competing for the your Premier League, and if we're going to be in Champions League, we're going to need to compete in Champions League as well. Is Jackson going to be able to handle that fixture schedule of 2 games a week? I don't think so. We're going to need another striker regardless.
He's
Secondly,
been like our most fit player this season. Can't lie.
yeah, no, he has been fit, and that's good. But also, it's one thing to be fit now when you have 1 game a week versus when you have 2 games a week, and when you're in the physicality of the Champions League. Like, we all know the Champions League, it's people, they put their bodies in the line when it's a Champions League night. Like, the physicality is a little extra, the intensity is a little extra in those games. You know, is Jackson going to be able to do both? I don't think so. I think we need the striker that can compete now and another striker that can develop under their wing. That's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, like I think we do.
I don't
need
know,
to-
man. It just
but
feels like a lot-
I honestly think though, Marshall, we have to wait till January because we're not going to sign. I think we're not going to sign Tony because we'll probably want to wait and see what he does. Maybe when he comes back from that long 8-month wait.
That's the other thing
Osimhen-
too.
Osimhen, like you said before, he's gonna be too expensive. They're not gonna sell him. You're probably looking at 150 million too much. Osimhen is not worth 150. And
oh,
go on.
ahead.
No,
Okay.
I was go ahead.
All right, I feel like I was just going off your point with Osimhen, like that guy at Napoli, like I feel like he would want all that money up front, like they're not.
Di Laurentiis?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like he would want that all up front. I don't think.
Sorry, I think he's not expecting anyone to afford 140 million up front, unless you're literally PSG.
In January, I think so. But like in the summer,
it's gonna be amortized. No, I think it's gonna be amortized. You pay up front.
A big chunk of it.
Yeah, you'll put in like, let's say 50 million to 70 million down, and then the rest will be amortized over 5 years or something. You're not gonna pay a full 140 even in Jan. No club's ever done that. Not even PSG is doing that. They literally
not even Chelsea under Prime. Roman has done that.
Yeah, like
they've
they
only done
literally put
about 50,
Mbappe on
60
loan
max.
for a year.
It's stupid business to pay up front.
By PSG for a year.
No club has done what we've done, like spending all this money on kids.
Yes,
like,
but it's been
we don't pay all at once, by the way.
Yeah, like even with Mbappe with PSG, they literally quote unquote loaned him for a year before they paid the whole 200 million. They loaned Mbappe for a year from Monaco.
I did, yeah.
That Neymar 200 million. That's the only one and only time you'll probably see it. You won't see something like that probably unless like 4 or 5 decades down the line whenever the revenue goes up for football or inflation.
And there was a mass exodus of young players from their youth team, aka one of them being in Nkunku, so they could afford the Neymar money. They literally just started giving every good youth player out, and they're like, "We just can't
was after.
pay you." Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure we're paying like even for like Mudryk like 10 million a year, like people because he's on an 8-year contract. I think we're doing like almost like 10 million a year or something. And then
even less than that.
Add-ons.
No, it's
And
less than
also-
that.
And also,
I think with the add-ons, it would account like 10 million.
With the add-ons, but he hasn't hit any of the add-ons.
No, well, we have to win Champions League, Premier League, and he has to win.
The thing is, add-ons aren't amortized though. They get paid as like clauses. Basically, it's like you hit this, they get paid.
They get
And
paid
it's not
like
over
straight
the
away
years.
at the end of the month or something
I
like
think we definitely paid a lot up front for Caicedo though. I'm not sure how much, but that's probably one of the. Yeah, that's probably one of the.
Oh
players we
yeah,
paid
we
up
did
front.
because I think Roman had like one of the money printing companies and he had to print out the money for the Caicedo deal or something like that. Like yeah,
Roman?
so we did pay it. Yes.
What are you talking
No,
about right now?
Roman, but like
Wait, Roman left my guy.
no, there's that money. I don't know how you describe it, but like the whole digital money print for
I
the
have
cash
no idea,
flow
like
to go in.
what
But
you seen.
Yeah.
I'm interested though.
But I like what someone was saying.
I'll send the
asking for
article
one-
later. But it was about 50 million cash injection that was needed, or in cash. But yeah, a lot of it was up front. About half of it.
Trying to
Sorry.
find out how much it is. Go ahead, Curry Part.
As someone was saying, like 140 is too expensive. I'm sorry. Have you looked at the market? Kevin Ferguson is being quoted as 130. We literally paid 100 million for 220 plus players. Bellingham went for 100 something. Rice just went for 100 something. Freaking Anthony went for
you're not
90
wrong.
million. Anthony went for 90 million.
That's
Anthony
United tax
guys.
though.
No,
They paid
I get it,
75
but
for
but
Maguire.
I'm saying the midfield, the young market is already 100 million. So you're telling me a young striker that's prolific is not going to cost upwards of 140 when Ferguson's being quoted by Brighton for 130?
Well, he's got like 2 years left, right, of his
Oh, yeah.
contract.
Yeah.
That's why I look at his contract as well. How long? If he had like 4 years left, easy 150. But with Declan Rice, like you mentioned, people like that, he had like 4 years left on his contract. I'm pretty sure 4 to 3 at least, anyway. So Osimhen, like I think after the season, it's gonna be 1 more year if I'm right, and then like 1 year is like not that much. So I think he should be 120 at best.
I agree, but I'm saying like the market is so much where you're paying 120, 130 for a striker who's young nowadays.
No, I understand that, but then I look at the context of how long the contract is, and also the context of how the club has been treating him, like on social media, like the racist stuff they've done with him. Maybe he wants out. That could be another factor into it as well. I just don't think Chelsea will pay it. Well, they might pay 140 for Osimhen. Who knows? But In the summertime, when he has like 1 year left, after that, I don't think we'll pay more than 120 because the contract, like mainly, yeah, he's a great player. That's why we're paying 120 because how good he is. But anything but that, it's not gonna be any more than that.
See, so based on what I'm reading right now, all I can find is that according to a bunch of outlets, sources suggest Chelsea will pay an initial 100 million pounds in guaranteed payments, with a further 15 million in add-ons for Caicedo.
Yeah, we had to pay a big chunk for it. I wasn't too sure. I thought it was like 18 million or something, but I think with Enzo as well, Marshall, we paid a lot up front as well for Enzo because it was in January as well. Like big money when it's in January normally. So yeah, I think we should step away in January and just rely on Jackson this season, and Brozier hopefully comes back fit. I don't think we'll pay like crazy amount in January. We've already spent a lot in summer again. I think Chelsea go like back off a little bit. You know, you want to be careful of FFP as well. Remember, you don't want to like go over the top.
I mean, regardless though, I think we're cleared on FFP because of how much we sold over the summer. We did a huge
And
clear.
also we're gonna sell
If we spend
Chalobah
for example, if we buy OSIMHEN for 140 million,
Big up, Dark.
do you think FFP is gonna be on our side after that?
No,
in
but
January?
we're planning to sell players such as Chalobah already, and we know Bayern's still
But
interested,
Chalobah ain't
right?
worth that much, is he? He's gonna
But
be
yeah, but he's gonna be 20 to 30, but that's direct cash, right? That we need direct cash to show in our cash flow compared to amortization.
And you never know, we might sell
monthly
Gallagher as well.
If we sell Gallagher and that, then
100% selling Gallagher.
I can definitely see we buy OSIMHEN then, because that's like 60 million to 70 up front maybe. So yeah, like I can see it from there, but that's if we do sell Gallagher, because Poch doesn't play Gallagher.
Let me just be the guy to say it. You know, if it's to be believed that Poch is involved in transfers, Gallagher's going nowhere.
He does rate him, but
for the right price, he'll go anywhere.
Let me say this first and foremost. Yeah, if I see 1st of January, Pochettino wants Lautaro Martinez, and it comes from like a tier 1 source that we know is legit. Honestly,
that's why I asked. It's gonna happen.
Let's go backstage then. Yeah, we'll go backstage.
Backstage.
Well, what's happening worked out? Then what? Then you're not
I
Poch
don't
out,
give a shit, bro. I don't care. I'm gonna be Poch out. There's no way.
But you can't give him a chance to see what happens.
No, it's not.
Martinez ain't as bad as you lot think, man.
No, he's a good player. He's a good player. He's a good player. He's a good player.
No, he's not. I'm sorry.
He is a good player.
He's not a good player.
He scores a bunch of goals. He's good on the. He's good on the link up and everything. Like
I'm
he's a good
sorry.
player.
He has.
But then again, he plays Inter, so we're not buying him.
No,
He's a good player, but it depends on what the bar is, or it depends on what the goal is. Because I'll be real, you can get better players for less.
Yeah, I would agree. CFC for life. Welcome to the show, brother. Thanks for calling in. I am gonna have to start rotating shortly, but for now we're good. But CSU for life, what are you saying about the whole striker situation?
Someone got YouTube playing, by the way, because it kind of.
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, I don't
Yeah,
think so.
the situation is like you can definitely see that we need a striker, because having Jackson, a lot of good things he does, but then there's so many bad things he does. Like his finishing is just not the level, and also I would go for OSIMHEN. I wanted him before, but as you said, it's going to cost a lot of money for him. And then you've got Tony, but we don't know where Tony wants to go, so it's a bit of a struggle not knowing what sort of striker we can go for. But I believe we definitely need a striker, because I know Jackson got the hat trick and stuff, but he could have scored way more, and a clinical striker would have way more to that spot. So yeah, I definitely know that we need someone, but yeah, the OSIMHEN deal is going to be very expensive, so I don't know if we will basically stay with that. But yeah,
Yeah, I think I got most of that. Just CSU for life. You have a little bit of a mic issues if you want to just sort that out. I think there's a lot of feedback going on.
Is that any clearer now?
There you go. You're clearer now.
Yeah.
I was just basically saying that. Yeah, like I don't know how we will get on if we kept Jackson and Broda going through the season. just with those two. I feel like we definitely need a striker that, you know, can win us games on his own. I know we haven't had anyone since like Costa, where even if all of our other players are having bad games, he would step up and win the game for us. We don't really have anyone that can do that. So that's why I'm a bit like skeptical what we're going to do in the transfer market.
What would you do though, if you had the choice? Let's say you're Paul Winstanley. What do you do to try to fix this in January?
Try not to upset the Chelsea fans, yeah?
You tell Emma Hayes to go do one. I'm joking.
Chill.
God damn.
That's difficult to say. Difficult to know what. I mean, I would personally, it's either OSIMHEN or TONEY for me. They're the type of strikers I'd go for, but it just all depends on what Napoli quote us, because as you said, if we're trying to get him in January, the likelihood is going to cost us even more to get him, or around 140, 150, because it's in January. Like, they're not going to really weaken themselves if they're planning on doing well in the league. They need to try to get the money. Say that again?
Weaken themselves what?
No, I was saying exactly, like, bro, they're not gonna why are they gonna give up their number one guy in January, like, to Chelsea? Like, what do they have to do for us? We're going to them and asking them for that guy. They can say what they want. So
yeah, that's why it's gonna cost us. Sorry to butt in. That's why it's gonna cost us so much. So it's gonna be hard to know who we're gonna go for. But like you said, he's gonna be a lot of money, OSIMHEN, definitely in January. And then if we don't go for him, we try and go for TONEY. But it all depends on where he wants to go. If he goes to Arsenal, then we're kind of then stuck where who do we go for now? But that's where we've got all these guys in, like Winstanley, and you know, this is what they're paid to do, is look at strikers for us. So we need a good striker that knows how to win us games. We've not had a striker that's been like that since Costa, where if everyone else is having a shit game, striker will just change it and win the game on his own. So we lack that sort of presence up top.
I mean, yeah, that is very much clear, and you know, I do have my doubts about Jackson. We'll see. Obviously, I will be patient. I will back the player, obviously, and I have seen there are aspects to his game that I feel are good, that I like out of the previous three strikers we've had in this team. And there is something to say about what's going to happen when Nkunku comes back, how he's going to cook. But in terms of the whole OSIMHEN thing, right? I mean, you guys are right in the sense of, why do Napoli necessarily need to sell to us? Sure, I get that. But on that same notion as well, you do have various reports saying that OSIMHEN is not happy. Clearly, Napoli, whoever's running the socials there, the accounts manager, fucked up, right? He's not happy with how things went down. He's obviously not happy with the new management as well. It seems that way as well. So if the player's upset and if he wants to push or move, he wants to leave Napoli, then we almost have a Caicedo, I would say not exactly the same, because Caicedo truly seemed to be a Chelsea fan and truly wanted to come to the club. But we almost have a Caicedo scenario where this player could be disgruntled and could start pushing for a move in January. I don't know what you guys think about that.
I think okay, maybe not in January. Like, he would start, like, they would feel like, oh, we have to sell him in January because he's acting like this. Like, if it gets to the summer though, and he's still doing that, then yeah, I feel like they'll start feeling that pressure from his side too. But that's just the summer though, because like, what, in the summer he has 1 year left on his contract? Is that what I heard?
I believe so, yeah. His contract ends in 2025.
Okay, yeah, they're gonna be feeling that pressure then in the summer. That's just what I think.
Regardless of what happens in January, you're more inclined to just wait it out until summer and see where we can, assess. You don't want to hop on TONEY in January.
I think... no, bro, no. Me, I like either of them, TONEY or OSIMHEN. Like, whoever is good, because like I said earlier, like, bro, I've like put my hopes in about 3 or 4 different strikers for Chelsea to be that guy, and no one's been that guy yet. So at this point, I'm like, whoever wants to come in and score goals, score goals. I don't care who it is.
If you wait till summer, he's a Real Madrid player straight away.
Osimhen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe them not interested in Mbappe. I think they go all out for Mbappe still.
Yeah, you think they're not gonna?
I mean,
if they don't go for Mbappe, I'm telling Chelsea and Todd Bowley, you need to go for Mbappe.
It's naive for Real Madrid and their stature to go for
Mbappe's gonna be banned.
instead of going for Mbappe to go for OSIMHEN. I mean, that's a bit daft because I think based on the caliber of players between them two, Mbappe is the much better option for him because he can play forward and on the wing.
I don't think Mbappe will be playing down the middle. I think he'll be playing on the left. I think probably Vinny will go on the
He
left.
is better on the left, but he's still good on the strike. I don't think he can go any position.
He can play anywhere from the left to the right and the center.
But the other thing too to keep in mind is that it's not like Real Madrid's going to be the only club that's going to be going for Osimhen. I'm sure there's a few factors, right?
Who do you reckon?
Who else?
I think there are teams that are going to put their hat in the ring, right? We heard rumblings of Saudi interested in Osimhen. That is a possibility.
Money, yes.
The money is there.
Yes.
I think, despite what you think, Chris,
no, they don't have
Man United are going to throw their hand in.
They just spent 72 million on Højlund. Why would they go for Osimhen as well?
Did you not see their list? It was Mediterranean, them guys. They're not going for Osimhen. They want someone older that can just step in. They're not going to.
There has been rumors, There's been rumors that Liverpool. I've seen just rumors in it, but Liverpool, Man United. There's a few teams that will be interested in Osimhen. It's not just going to be us.
I was going to say Liverpool too, because with Liverpool, we don't know what's going to happen with Salah next season either, because Saudi's also talking up Salah.
Yes, Salah's gone.
Yeah, we saw how much they were going to offer.
That's the only other Premier League club I think Tottenham. They might, you never know, because they have got money.
They're not going to spend that much money.
Nah,
they ain't going to spend
I probably won't, but I'm just looking. They just sold Harry Kane, haven't they? And having
okay. No, fair enough. You make a point there, but I just can't see them spending that whole budget on Osimhen.
The stingy club. I know, that's why I'm thinking. Tottenham, but I don't see Man United.
Definitely, I think.
United
has the money, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, United have the money.
Yeah,
United could afford
I don't think, Chris, but you genuinely think they bought Højlund as this is our guy, this is our solution.
Right. Okay.
I've been trying to buy a striker for the past 5 seasons now.
First? Can I ask you, what does United need first? A right winger or a striker?
A new owner. That's what they need first, bro.
They don't know what they need first.
No, but
guys, I've looked into who's linked with Osimhen.
Right,
it's United, Arsenal, Chelsea, Madrid, and Al Nassr. They're the 5 clubs that have shown genuine interest.
Arsenal too, yeah. I mean, Arsenal.
Yeah, there's like 5 clubs right there.
They're likely to go for Tony, though. I feel that's just.
But I feel like Al Nassr and Real Madrid are probably our genuine targets that we should fear. Because they're the clubs that have gone for Ronaldo, Kante.
Nah, Liverpool's up.
They're gonna go for him again.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams. I feel like it's not just going to be us, isn't it? There's going to be a lot of other teams. Why wouldn't you want
the most competitor for Osimhen for sure?
And especially
as you were saying, go ahead, CSC for life.
Now, I was just thinking, if you're a big club, right, and you want to be a big club again, you kind of want to get the best players in your squad, right? So, say we got him, and then you got Jackson on the bench. Or if United got him, you could have Højlund on the bench because he is young. And if they want to be a big club, you get rid of Martial, you get rid of, different people to bring him in, really.
Chris,
they need another
right wing. Just said.
I heard. Okay,
what do you mean he doesn't need another striker?
Because they need a right winger. They need an actual right wing.
They need. Yeah, they need so much.
Off. Sancho is completely off, right?
Sure.
At this rate, and he isn't good enough, I don't think, anyway. Anthony doesn't look like he's good enough either, and I don't know what could happen with that guy as well. Like they're not gonna get Mason
But
Greenwood. in, are
I
they?
got a
Like,
feeling
that's not
that
gonna
they'll
happen.
just give that right
Even
wing position to a youngster, and then they'll go
even
for the
Rashford
main
ain't
number
been good
9,
enough
the
for them
main
at left.
striker. They'll go for a gunman up top, because the right wing like is really like where most of United's attack going through down the middle.
Chris, do
That's
you
gonna
trust
be
United?
OSIMHEN.
Chris, do you trust United's recruitment team to prioritise the right areas?
No, they always don't.
Well, exactly.
They
So
always
this,
go for
this is
strikers.
a
But
pointless
I-
conversation.
No, but I'm thinking maybe this one time, like maybe Ten Hag's still in charge, and he asked for a right winger, and they actually listened, like because they actually do need a right.
When
Ten
did they
Hag
ever
doesn't-
listen to him?
They do. They actually bought a few players.
Well, they bought all these Dutch players, man.
They bought Onana.
So how
they
long
bought,
Oh
it
yeah,
took
yeah,
him to
him and
gel.
his whole advising team who are
and Mason Mount. They bought
from
Mason Mount.
Ajax, bro. Ajax
But
players.
I've seen United use Bruno at right wing a few times this season because they have no right winger basically at this point. Like
Just play him out there.
I'm sleeping.
Yeah, they're gonna end up doing something daft. like
Play
that.
either of them. They're both terrible at right wing.
I'm saying I'm not afraid of United. I don't think United get Osimhen. It'd be too much, and they need other positions, other like right wing and probably another mid. They need a DM. They need another DM as well. I forgot about that.
Another DM?
Yes, because Casemiro is not.
Amrabat's not been good, bro.
So
Oh,
that leaves Arsenal, Al Nassr, and Real Madrid.
Liverpool, don't
Fair
forget
enough.
Liverpool. They bid like
Liverpool
what did they
too.
bid
I
like
think
100 mil
Liverpool.
for Cancelo?
Yeah, they have the money. Wait, that's another thing too. Yeah, Liverpool
Yeah, they
have
got
the
the
money.
money. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
do you think they'll probably try to do the ambitious Mbappe to Liverpool move?
Yeah,
Because
they
remember,
go for Mbappe,
that
right?
was part of their project as well.
I'd be pissed if Liverpool got Mbappe though, and we didn't go for Mbappe because Mbappe is that type of talent you want. That
I got a feeling Liverpool will go, because this is typical Liverpool. They'll go for Mbappe, he goes to Madrid, and Liverpool do a Caicedo 2.0, 100 million down for OSIMHEN. Something daft like that. You could probably see that happening.
Yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense. If Salah gets sold, then you want to then get someone else.
Oh,
Obviously, different positions,
yeah.
but you
Salah
wanna
to
get-
Saudi, that's going to be 100
You
million
want to
on
get
its own.
someone else. Obviously, they'll probably get other players as well, but you need to get key marksmen up top that maybe guarantee. Obviously, not the goals with Salah because he has actually scored a lot of goals. If you look at his career, he's actually scored a lot of goals for Liverpool. So that will be hard to replace.
Yeah, I mean, but then on the other hand too, like, what do you do with wow, why am I forgetting his name right now? How am I drawing a blank? No, Liverpool striker.
Nunes.
Darwin Nunes.
Yeah, then what do you do with Darwin? You know, like you just paid.
Genghis Khan from the bench.
They paid a good chunk of money for Darwin
18
Nunes.
million euros.
Yeah,
but he
so,
played.
like,
He can play quite a lot of positions, though, can't he?
I think
Can't
he
play
played
wing,
left
yes.
wing. He played left wing a couple times.
Yeah, left
But
wing.
The thing is though, they've also got Jota and Gakpo that can play those roles as well.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
they're
say,
not starting
Liverpool's
quality, though. They're
attack
not
is
starting
actually
quality.
quite decent. Look,
I think
Yeah,
they
so
might
obviously
be
the only part that's missing is the midfield.
it's the
Really.
Klopp blitzkrieg, man. That's what I'm saying, man. They have good attack, but no defense, man. That defense is in shambles.
The attack, to be fair, the attacks always build them out whenever the defense lets one in.
Yeah. So I mean, Osimhen's gonna be a tough one. I mean, if there's a time to do it, it might. I mean, I think I agree with whoever said it. I think Jason said it, but like, I think January might be the time to actually make a move for Osimhen if we can convince
So do you
Laurentiis
guys
to let
think that
loose.
will do what we did with Havertz and Werner? Like we just buy him and loan him till the end of the season?
Well, we
That's
didn't loan Havertz and Werner back. We just signed them on
That with
pre-contract.
Ziyech. Isn't that we did that with Ziyech technically?
The Ziyech was a pre-contract
Ziyech
as well.
and Pulisic, I believe, right?
Pulisic was signed in January to preempt the transfer ban, and we loaned him back to Dortmund. Whereas Ziyech, Werner, and Havertz were all signed after January, so they were.
But we have done that quite a bit before with a few players.
I mean, to be fair, with Nkunku, what we did, we sort of agreed
Yeah,
the
we got
fee
him early.
in December, and then it rolled into the summer. But it wasn't a loan back. It was really weird.
Yeah.
Because
So maybe something
usually,
like that
usually
again.
the thing that Chelsea does is a loan back straight away. But
It all depends on the player, though. I believe, and if we can get him, so the Nkunku deal made sense at the time to kind of leave him there, but buy him and then get him for the next season.
I think he was injured also, as well.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
no, he wasn't injured. He only got injured with us.
I mean, let's face it. We had to wrap up that deal back then. 'Cause he wouldn't have joined us.
Injured, I swear.
Well, Oliver, Bayern were literally knocking on the door straight after we got the deal done.
Yeah, I know, but that's why we had to get it done then, because we didn't make the Champions League. There's no way he would have joined us if we come in for him in June.
Yeah, it made sense to get him, try and go for him now and get the sort of transfer agreement to obviously stop other teams, like you said, like Bayern, snip. So we had to kind of do that.
It's gonna be an interesting January transfer window. Like, if we don't get a striker, do we get any other position, or are we just gonna sell players? That's the other thing too.
Another CB, probably get another CB.
That doesn't make any sense.
I will pull my hair out.
I mean, there are links. There are links. Well, I mean, I wouldn't be that upset about it either, though, Chris. Because think about it, Thiago Silva's essentially going to leave this season. We already there's a
Chalobah's going to go,
and Chalobah's gone, and we don't know what's going to happen with Wesley Fofana. How he's going to come back.
You want to sign another centre back in January? You're saying?
If I get rid of those 3 center backs, that leaves us with the Sassy. What do you mean Silva's not going anywhere?
He's not going anywhere in January. I guarantee it.
Not in January, but like I'm just saying, by the end of this next season, right? By the end of the season, that's 3 less center backs. That leaves us with the Sassy. That leaves us with Colwell, Badiashile.
Yep.
And that's
post ACL Fofana.
We have 3 center backs. We need another center back.
No, but there is Fofana as well, and we still got Chalobah.
I said Fofana was. We don't have Chalobah. We're selling Chalobah in January.
Chalobah's not staying.
Chalobah, literally, I think he said something about.
Why do you think I said 3 less?
He wants to stay.
Chris, he's about to go in January. He's the next guy out.
I don't see the point.
He would have had the game by now, Chris. Where's he been?
Chris, you were on the streams when we talked about this. He's going. He's gone.
He's been injured.
He's not been injured. Chris, you genuinely believe the last 12 weeks he's been injured?
Okay, no, he has though. He has been injured.
His injury was only 4 weeks. It's the same duration as Reece James.
I don't.
It doesn't matter though.
Listen,
hang on. It doesn't matter whether he's been injured or not. All the reports have been saying from multiple journalists, multiple reliable journalists, have all been saying that it's done. It's done.
Right. The comment says pure profit. But
Chris, he's had the same injury as Reece James. If he would have been playing right about now, he would have had at least a substitution or something.
Well,
he's gone.
I genuinely think he's still injured. I genuinely think he's still injured because he also got re-injured.
Why do we need to sell Chalobah when we're just going buy?
Because he's not rated.
Straight profit. That's what they're thinking.
I don't think any
pure
fourth choice
profit.
centre back's like purely red. Okay, yeah, but pure profit. Then we have to spend another 20, 30, 40 million on another centre back. Then that still goes away that money. What's the point?
You're not thinking of it as on the books though.
Chris, let me try this again. I'm gonna try this again, Chris.
Give him the number.
At the end of the season, you have Thiago Silva leaving. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, you agree with that? Then, all rumors are pointing to Chalobah being sold for around 30 million in January.
He probably will be sold. Yes.
Okay, so you agree with that?
I do. But I don't want him sold. That's my point.
Listen,
that's a different conversation.
Let me land. Okay. The third thing is, Fofana's out for the season. You don't know how he's going to come back next season. Plus, he's injury prone.
But he is
and
back
we don't know
next
what
season,
But we don't know what the club is going to do with him. If they even trust him to stay
fit,
it
doesn't mean him being back doesn't mean anything if he's going to repeat last season.
If we can't rely on them, we move Fofana on. We move him for whatever price.
So you admit?
Okay, so
that's what Marshall's saying.
I'd rather sell him over Chalobah.
Okay, that's something. Okay, that's a whole other discussion. Okay,
hey, Chris, stop and argue.
Hold on. That leaves us with Badiashile, Disasi, and Colwell as center backs. We're not going to go into next season with just 3 center backs. We need another center back. Do you agree?
Yeah, Colwell's not a center back, by the way. He's a left back.
Well, even that proves my point even more. That leaves us with 2 center backs.
Well, hopefully we get rid of Poch if we ever see that ever again. Now, I swear to God.
Yes.
I don't mind.
So, Chris, we got 2 center backs, yeah? So, do you agree that we need to get another one?
If all those center backs do go, yes, then we definitely need to buy another.
There we go.
But I don't want to sell him because he's a good backup. He's a good backup.
Yeah, but we're not talking about what we want. Chris, we're not talking about what we want. I think all of us rate Chalobah to a decent level, but the club don't. and we're talking in reality.
What you doesn't?
Chris, the same reason that the club want to sell Chalobah is arguably the same reason that the club might actually pull the trigger and sell Gallagher, because pure profit.
We still have to spend that money. I don't know how it really works like, because we
Okay,
still have to
okay.
spend that money on the centre back anyway.
Let me
It's different to
You take a crack, Oliver.
Let me explain. So Chris, we sold Chalobah for 30 million, right?
Yeah.
So straight profit on the books, 30 million. So we buy a centre back for 30 million and put them on a 6-year contract. Then that's 5 million per year. So that's a 25 million profit.
Yes. Okay. If it's straight profit, then yes, of course, yes, I get that.
That's how they're thinking.
But I feel like it's still a bit like it's not even that much money, really. But I would.
Chris, wait, Chris. These are the same owners.
Going to take 5 years on the books.
I hear it.
Chris, these are the same owners that sold Jorginho for 12 million when we needed him.
Yeah, true. But to be fair, when you look at it, like, do you even see Chalobah really fitting into this squad? Is he going to play over Disasi? Is he going to play over Fofana? Is he going to play over Badiashile? Colwell?
He doesn't start over him like in Premier League games,
exactly
like that. But neither does I don't think the centre back we get for 20 to 30 million. Unless he's really good scouted and he's like a talent like Badiashile.
Well, here's the thing though, Chris. We don't know who that guy is, and we don't know if it's going to be 20 or 30 million. We haven't really.
It could be. Wait. You guys forgot a centre back. How dare you all forget this great?
No.
The difference is the market for centre backs is going to be quite huge.
Is a great.
Oh my God,
that's my joke,
bro. What the hell, Chris?
I just thought about we have Malang Sarr as a backup. Like you're disrespecting Malang Sarr right there. There's Marshall froze.
Hey, yo, Marshall, good on you, man.
It seemed like you were just staring at one thing for a good while. I was looking.
I was staring at one thing in the chat for a good while. I was reading.
So Marshall,
he was looking at Malang Sarr compilation.
We have Malang Sarr as well. Malang Sarr.
Shut up, Chris.
Like, come on, Chris. You know Malang Sarr's like, come on, bro. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing, Chris?
We got a guy on 120k. We just sit in life and just or whatever.
I'm just saying, Chris. Like, you know what? Another thing I should mention, another center back that we totally forgot about, Humphreys.
I don't rate it.
I mean, he's a squad player at best if he stays.
Yeah, true. We never know what he's developed into.
Humphreys is never gonna make it.
He's just there for the numbers.
You rate Chalobah, you rate Malang Sarr, and you say Humphreys is not gonna make it, man.
Yeah, because his name, man. Like his name's not gonna make it. Imagine Humphreys, man, and just send him back.
Bro, you rep Timo Werner.
Wait, listen. He only rates Timo Werner because of Red Bull, man. That's it, man. The Red Bull connections.
Oh my God, you are something else.
Hey, Timo Werner's a great name. I'm not about this name-wise. Humphreys, like imagine Humphreys against Real Madrid in the semi-final. Nah, I don't see it.
Listen, point being is that we do need a center back. So I could see a center back being purchased in January. That's also a good time to purchase because like it's not as much competition, right? So
yeah.
There's that. I mean, what else? What other position could I mean, they're not signing a goalkeeper. That's for sure.
Don't need a midfielder.
Maybe left back.
That will be needed. Yes, that will be needed.
Cucurella's probably gonna go.
One left back.
Cucurella will definitely go.
Sell that bum Cucurella, man. That guy's
what?
I don't think Cucurella's going.
Wait,
bro.
Cucurella's our best left.
I think there was at the start of the season.
Jason, thoughts on Chilwell then? This is my litmus test.
Yeah, you're not gonna hate me.
Hey, Chilwell's proper chance, man.
Wait, hold on. What did you say?
I don't mind Chilwell, not Chilwell. I don't mind Chilwell or Colwell at left back. I'm not gonna lie. I don't mind it.
Colwell?
Bro.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
God damn it, that's a double L, man. Sorry, bro.
Come on, man.
Hey, leave Chilwell alone, man. My guy, man. Proper chance.
Chilwell, I'm not gonna
Colwell at left back. You don't mind it.
Chilwell ain't even that bad, right? Come on now.
I don't mind.
Since his injury, he has been.
You know what the problem is? Him and Reece James have got fragile legs, man.
Nah,
that's ticking time bombs.
Chilwell's not a great defender, though, is he? He's like, let's be honest, he's a left back or left wing back, whatever, but he's not the best.
Chilwell's a left winger now, by the way.
Defensively is the issue I have with Chilwell. Because
Yeah,
I mean,
nothing like
even under Lampard, he was decent defensively. It seems like that defensive aspect of his game has kind of
It's just
dropped
after the
quite a
injury.
bit.
No,
I don't know
no,
what's happened.
Chilwell as an all-round left back, the only person that you would argue you would have swapped to during that time was probably Robertson. Like,
Yeah, I would say that. And I wanted
That's
Robertson
it.
over Chilwell that time.
that was the only time, like, as an all-round left back, he was actually solid. It's just that his
he was. And then he
legs
got
are
injured,
glass,
right?
made of glass,
And he
man.
got
They just
injured,
won't
and
go.
he's been plummeting since. I just don't see
Yeah.
it. I'm sorry.
That's because of
Like,
injuries.
yeah, I just defensively, he's just not the guy. And even
You know that
offensively,
comment
he's not
that
been
you
great.
brought
Wait,
up
so-
with the
Do you lot
Chilwell,
rate
sorry,
Cucurella
the
defensively?
swap, right? I was
Cucurella
thinking
defensively
He's
is
better
solid.
defensively than
Chilwell and
Chilwell.
Davis. Chilwell and Davis, because Tuchel worked with Chilwell. I
Cucurella's
think
a
that
better
would probably
defender
make
than
more
Chilwell, by
sense.
the way. He's a
If
better defender.
if Cucurella's not touch tight to his marker, then it's wraps. That guy
Yeah,
is
yeah.
terrible.
He has his flaws. Don't get me wrong.
If
Cucurella
you-
has his flaws,
if you
but
can
he's
isolate
a
Cucurella on
better
the- on
all-round defender.
If you can isolate Cucurella on the left, it's wraps. Like,
I-
we were so lucky that Saka was just in bad form.
All right, but either way, either way, whether we rate we don't rate Chilwell, we don't rate. We need a new left back.
Left back.
100%.
Yeah.
I don't think we need. Why?
We do,
Yeah,
man.
we do, man.
Well,
I'm not saying this. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this Cobble thing ever again. If you know he's playing like a centre back at left back. That's why he conceded the deflection.
Chris, we're not a Man City. We're not Pep Guardiola. We don't know what the hell we're doing with the whole centre backs and
Well,
the full
Colwell
backs,
and
man.
Nathan Ake are completely different. Like Nathan Ake is actually good.
Wait, so what's your actual problem with Cole then?
He's not a left back.
Left back.
No, but
Yeah, it's not natural.
He's very raw as a left back, man.
Yeah,
Very
it's
raw.
unnatural. You can see he's a centre back. You can just see how he moves and how he plays. He doesn't suit being on the left.
You saw the goal we conceded against Tottenham.
You
The
watch
amount
him-
of space he gave Kulusevski.
You watch him 1v1 against wingers. Watch him against. If you remember against Salah in the first game and against Kulusevski, he backs off like a centre back because he's a centre back.
Yeah.
You know. It's gonna be funny, you know, because there are wingers out there that specialize in 1v1 dribbling. It's gonna be a long day if we keep him on left back. Because imagine, let's say, God forbid, right? We go into a Champions League. We have Colwell left back against a Vinicius. It's a long 90 minutes for him, man.
No, I can't see that. I can't be doing that. Oh,
No, it's gonna be a long. No, because the only reason why I said that is because he's the well-known 1v1 dribbler. He will get skinned.
Calm. This is a good question, and I was going to ask this. What I would say, personally, my plan would be going forward with this. If we are to get another left back, I don't think the left back market is very good either. I mean, you go for Teo Fernandez, but how long are you going to go for Teo Fernandez? Teo Fernandez, I feel like, is reaching that point where he's about to be washed. Davies, are Bayern going to sell Davies? I don't think Teo Fernandez is nearly anywhere as good as he used to be. I think he's starting to plummet.
Listen, if we're gonna play left back as left wing, Marcus Alonso.
But what I was gonna say is that I'm willing to stick with if Cucurella can keep this form, right? If Cucurella can keep this form of being defensively sound, and he is slightly improving a little bit in the attack, but if he can keep this form going forward and Poch can still get him going, then I'd be willing to stick with Cucurella and start developing another, someone that you bring in, another youth, if you want to call it that. Because it's not going to be Ian Maatsen.
Not Maatsen. Okay.
Yeah,
it
it's
ain't
not
gonna be
gonna be
Maatsen. We just talked about Maatsen. You guys remember what happened at Brentford? I think that was an eye-opening situation for me.
But it's that plus Poch just doesn't rate him. Poch just doesn't rate him. It's clear as day.
Yeah, but you can see he can't defend though. Let's be honest. That goal against Brentford showed me what kind of defender are you if you're backing up that challenge.
Premier League is a brutal league, man. It's a very unforgiving league for these youngsters.
I don't want a left back that's just gonna get easily bullied like that. That was embarrassing.
That was shocking. I couldn't believe
my man got bullied and he stayed down. Like he got knocked out at USC, bro. Like that was insane.
I mean, I don't care that he stayed down.
He got his welcome to the Premier League, man.
Bro, my man was making snow angels in the ground. It's not even snowing. Like he was out.
Serious look what Tottenham. I'm not okay. I hate Tottenham obviously, but look at that Gudogi. I know he got sent off in that, but
sure.
Obviously he's a good left back. Let's be honest. And he come out of nowhere.
Yeah. He's proven himself.
I think he
Yeah,
was
but the
born.
problem is
I think he was.
a lot of these players. It's the question mark is can they step up in the big league? Like we don't watch them. I want to play devil's advocate here because we don't watch them as much as someone watches Chelsea or Arsenal. The minute they come to these bigger clubs, you start to watch their weaknesses a lot more. Like I feel like I'll give you an example. Let's say let's say we've loaned out that Ian Matson and he turns out he scores a goal. Like a lot of these players, like even Kudus, for example, I promise you this, not many of our fans are probably watching him on the West Ham as much. But whenever he does score and stuff, they'll bring him up on the timeline and stuff like that. Oh, look how good he is. Look how ex-player good he is. Leicester was a prime example. How many quote-unquote good players that they had. And if they do come to Chelsea or Arsenal or whatever, you start to see their flaws a lot more. So it's the question mark.
Fucking drink water, man. Oh my god.
But that's not our problem. That's the scouts' problem.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. Because like, look at a guy like Doku. Doku came from France, and he's cooking right now.
Yeah.
If you find the right attributes and you have a settled system, then there theoretically shouldn't be any problem.
I got a question.
But isn't that what our data scouts should have been doing?
Yeah, that's what they're saying, though. Jason,
Yeah.
what was your question?
What about the right wing position? Because Madueke, he's not looking like that guy.
I mean,
That's
Sterling's the starter. Sterling and Palmer.
Yeah,
there you
we're
go.
pretty covered on right wing.
So do you think we're going to sell him? Because you've got Payers,
Madueke, I don't know.
You've got Angelo. You've got Diego.
Angelo
Moreira.
as well, too. Yeah, true.
Son.
Pretty stacked on the right wing position.
I think he's going to be sold in the next couple of seasons.
Could happen. It could happen.
Having said that, I'd be looking at someone on the left wing. Like, you know, when we get back to playing midweek football, Mudryk can't do that all on his own.
Nkunku, Mudryk, Raheem Sterling can also do it. There.
I mean, if we're going to consider Nkunku for that side, then fair enough. Okay.
I mean,
I think the only issue is probably striking left back, and if an elite goalkeeper or something big comes up in the goalkeeping market, it'll probably be
I genuinely think we might scout a left back, and I think I genuinely believe Cucurella can be that left back for us to just be solid defensively. Obviously, we're gonna want more attacking output from him, but I think Cucurella is also one of those players. I don't know about. Well, listen, it might be Chilwell. In a realistic world. In a realistic world, we might actually just stick with Chilwell. Realistically, I think we might stick with Chilwell.
If Chilwell was in that
I don't think you're going to sell him.
That Cucurella was against Tottenham, he scores that. Let's be real.
I mean, I've seen him in that. I've seen him in that position try and pass the ball, man. No, we're not doing that. We are not doing that, man.
If it was Chilwell that didn't have his back-to-back injury, then yes. But if it's now Chilwell, we don't know.
Another thing I want to point out too is that, like, with the manager like Pochettino, I think Pochettino, what he's been doing with these players is he's been allowing himself to trust these players and see what they can do. And once the players feel that, they seem to really respect the manager and try to do their best for the manager. We saw it happen with Mudryk. We're seeing it happen with Cucurella. So, like, I think Cucurella is one of those players that if he gets his opportunity to and the manager instills trust in him, he's do his best to not let down the manager and play his best. And he's been doing really good since he's come back at right back.
Fairs.
Yeah, and that's the other thing about Cucurella too. Like, listen, as much as we want to say like he hasn't been good in the preseason and all that stuff, to be fair to Cucurella as well, he got unlucky in a few of those situations where he just missed time to tackle, or the tackle just ended up bouncing off of him in the worst position.
But like we said earlier in the stream, though, we're not regarding preseason for anything because we're playing a completely different way. We're playing players in different positions, and yeah, that's it really.
You know, in preseason, we were against the lower team oppositions.
Outside of preseason,
you know, in preseason, Nicholas Jackson looked like the future. You know,
bro, who are we against? Like Wrexham, stuff like that.
We played a few Premier League teams.
Yeah, we did, but I mean they were all playing high lines. That's one thing that we neglected to mention.
Yeah. So, I mean, and going back to the whole striker situation too, I am willing to be patient with Jackson to see what happens with Nkunku for another reason as well. It seems to me, and I could be wrong about this, But it seems to me, based on the goals that he scored this season so far, I think Jackson is the type of striker that he just wants a tap-in goal. He's not going to dribble into a change of position, shoot from outside the box, score across the goal. Like, he seems to me like a tap-in keeper. And a lot of the goals that are a tap-in striker, and a lot of the goals that we saw in preseason with him and Nkunku were like counterattack, running up against the defense, pushing him back, and either Maatsen or Mudryk or whoever just tap in.
But he's not in the box enough.
He's not in the box enough, which is what I think, Nkunku's going to help him do.
Clinical enough. It's just...
Yeah, there's many things it's his movement. He's really good when he's moving around and link up. It's just when he runs in behind, he's not clinical. So he misses so many chances.
And this is the frustrating thing is, do you guys even recognize him as a proper striker? Because the way he plays, right, it's almost like a second striker. Like, I feel like
he plays like a winger, honestly.
Yeah. If we have, that's the frustrating part, because I don't think we've signed him we've signed a proper striker in Ajax. I feel like if he had someone like a Harry Kane, a Lewandowski, or a Haaland up front, I think he'll flourish. But because I don't think he has. I think it's a little bit harsh coming because it's a little bit early and he's still a bit of a raw player. But I don't think he has the attributes of a proper striker. Because a lot of times a striker would instinctively be running behind in line in the box, like Tommy would run. Regardless, even our worst strikers in the past, all they all have in common, they get into the positions that they need to. It's just that they couldn't finish half of the times.
I think that's wrong, to be fair, because if you look at his XG, he's obviously getting in the right positions. And he's missing those chances. If you look at his
but the thing is though, that the times that he does get a chance, a lot of them he should have been putting it back of the net. Because how many big chances has he actually missed? Because I think all the misses were actually big chances.
Yeah, but I thought you were saying that he wasn't getting in the right places. That's what I thought you were saying.
No, but I'm saying that he lacks like the true ability of it, or the true instincts of a striker. The best way, running behind, get into the positions consistently.
He definitely does, but I think what they're thinking of right now for Jackson is that he's getting in the right positions at the right time. Hopefully, just down the line, it'll all click for him. But I can't really think of a striker that it's happened for recently. So
I just think that he would work. He would be basically like an Nkunku. He would work well with another big number 9 next to him, or a big player.
I also think, right, he does work well where if we have time on the ball, because if you see how he got his hat trick, if we don't create those type of chances often, you see those sort of cutbacks in that. How many times have you actually really seen us score a goal like that? If we created those type of chances like that, he would, obviously he's missed chances, don't get me wrong, he's missed one-on-ones, he's missed a lot, but those type of chances where he got the hat trick, we do not create that often enough. Those attacking
the problem is though, it's just like what Oliver said. He doesn't get into them positions in the first place.
Yeah, we don't create these chances because they're not playing like a ridiculously high line. When we struggle, when we're playing with a low block.
By the way, just on that point, this is why I was so negative in the match review, because I don't see what we can take from this Spurs game and apply to every single other game that we have left in this season. There's nothing we can take from it. We're not going to have 3-1. We're not going to have 3 2v1s with the goalkeeper where we square it each time.
And we're not going to have defenders that give up instantly, right? The last
minute. I think the smallest amount
because that hat trick he got, that 2 defenders were giving up because you saw him. They started to walk the minute he was 1v1.
I think the smallest amount we can take from that game is how quickly we started playing much better once we went down. I think obviously that's a negative in itself, but I think after we scored, what was it, like 6 attempts on shots and 6 touches in the box after the first goal. I think if you want to question our mentality, it was a decent enough reply in itself, but you don't want to see us have to go down for us to have to play like that in the first place.
I agree with you, but then I look at it also that it's worrying that when they went down to 10 men and 9 men for long periods of that game, we looked like the players didn't even know how to even make simple runs. Like as you said, Tottenham had that high line, and it took us so long to even the players, I know the manager's job to do that as well, but even to have just common sense and think, bruh, they're playing a high line. All I have to do is time my run and we'll get in so many times. It took us that long to kind of work that out, and that's quite shocking to see because we're not going to get that in every game.
Yeah,
I can't lie.
I wanted to say this. I think it was a couple streams ago when you lot reacted to the game, but I think you have to take it kind of not. We're a young team, innit? So and it was weird. I've never seen that in my whole life. A team played that high of a line with 9 men down. So I think it was natural for any team to react like that. I think even Guardiola for maybe like a
you know what it is?
They would have reacted the same way.
It's not just that on its own, right? Oh God, sorry, Marshall, I cut you off.
No, I was just Oliver. What were you gonna say? Because you were gonna add something to what they were talking about.
Oh, I can't remember now. No, don't worry.
Son, go ahead, bro.
I'm sorry, Oliver, for taking that out of your head.
No, it weren't you. It's don't worry.
My bad.
No, but I was gonna say, right, and this is what I've said before, that a lot of these players, like, this is no disrespect to them, and it's not their fault that they were bought for these type of prices. But you have players like Ugo Choko, Washington, and other sort of players as well. I think how many appearances has Nicholas Jackson got in the men's game as well? Like, a lot of them have under 100 professional men's game, and it's through no fault of their own. They've been bought for them sort of prices. But when you have like limited amount of experiences, and you have like a lot of the positions that bar like Sterling, Silva, and a couple of others, like you have like half the squad that's inexperienced. And the problem is at Chelsea, we don't really give time. We're results based, and the owners, with their naivety, expect us to get UCL qualifications this year. So I don't know how that's gonna work, but you see the standards at Chelsea, and we don't give time, and a lot of these players need time. And unfortunately for Poch, I don't know, like, for me to properly judge Poch, he needs his players. He needs genuine talent players and experienced players for me to actually judge him. But I don't see Poch as a problem solver. He's not one of them managers that can solve a lot of issues in quick succession the way Tuchel can. Poch is more of a development manager, and a manager that can grow youth rather than solve the issues that we have. And it's not going to help when you have inexperienced players who struggle with low block, with a manager that has a bit of issues with low blocks as well. So there's a lot of question marks, but we're just going to have to wait and see what kind of answers come out from him.
I think a lot of answers will be solved when Nkunku comes back, because the same thing to what you guys were alluding to, which is we don't score goals like how Jackson scores, or we don't create chances like that, which is what I was alluding to before. I think Jackson is that type of striker that he's a tap-in striker. I haven't seen him score many goals that were not like tap-ins. I haven't seen him score a goal like, kind of goal, break away with a keeper. I haven't seen much of it. So why I go back to the Nkunku thing is that when Nkunku was in the team, I recall many times that Nkunku would lead the attack, would lead a counter attack, and would be linking up with Jackson 1-2 or with Sterling 1-2, and getting himself in those positions to create those types of chances. So it's going to be interesting to see Nkunku's role when he comes back, if he's going to play the 10, because if he does play the 10, I could see him creating the chances that we're asking for, so Jackson can score those goals and get himself in those positions. Because we also agree that Jackson is going to link up play as well. So him and Jackson linking up 2v4 or 2v3 in a defense in a slightly counterattacking style, because we don't play counterattacking football, but we do have counterattacking opportunities. I could see maybe Jackson improving as a striker. So
yeah,
time will tell. Time will tell. We just need Nkunku to come back.
I agree. Like, once we see Nkunku come back, because he's actually quite versatile. Because when he was playing for Leipzig, they used to play like a 4-2-2-2 formation. So he can play in the 10, he can play on the left, he can play false 9. So he can actually play in a number of positions. And as you've seen, I know pre-season doesn't mean anything now, but during pre-season, we played him on the left a few times, we played him in the 10, and then we played him up top in pre-season. So I feel like Poch is kind of looking to use him in many different positions, which will kind of help us and benefit us anyway. But I don't know, like we're just relying on so much on Nkunku that we need to get someone else in to obviously help Nkunku and all the other players as well, because I don't know if he'll be able to score, let's say 15, 20 goals, because that's asking a lot for someone like him. But it'll be interesting to see what he does when he comes back.
And it's also asking a lot considering he's only come back, I mean, almost halfway through the season because he got injured, unfortunately. But it is what it is. He's going to come back next month. We'll see what's going to happen with the striker position. We'll see what we get out of Jackson, if anything. And I hope we do get something out of Jackson, because in an ideal world, if Jackson works out and we don't have to desperately get a striker in January, then we can assess this more patiently and better in the summer. And maybe we can even have more money by then, FFP wise, to spend a little more on, who knows, OSIMHEN or Ivan Toney, whoever we're targeting, or maybe it's another striker, who knows. But that being said, I think we're done, boys. I think this was the topic for today. I appreciate everyone coming on. Big up to CFC for Life. Big up for Hassan, Jason. Big up to Curry Pirate and whoever else came on. I'm sorry if I forgot your name, but big up to you guys. Big up to the panel that showed up in the beginning as well. Ahmed, Oliver, Chris, and Scott. We'll be back again. I don't know when, but we'll be back at some point. I think Saturday after the game, right? The game is on Saturday, I believe. The Chelsea game versus Man City.
Sunday.
Sunday.
I think
Okay,
it is a Saturday.
Yeah, it's Sunday. It's Sunday. So
No,
we'll
sorry,
be back
Sunday,
on Sunday.
Halfway.
We'll be back on Sunday and probably doing a Casually Chelsea show midweek that week as well. So, we'll be back on Sunday. I know we're going to go into international break after that, so there will be content here as well. So stay tuned. Be sure to smash up the like button if you haven't done so already. It does help out the channel. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. 30% of you that are watching have not subscribed for whatever reason. Let me know why in the comments. But yeah, go ahead and subscribe. Hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on any streams. Check out the links below for all of my content. The YouTube, the Twitch, there's also Twitter, there's also Discord, all fun stuff down there, so check it out.
We're
Come be
everywhere
part of
now.
the Discord community. Also be sure to check out the comments below. Let us know what you think about anything that we discussed. What are your solutions? Maybe you have a striker in mind that we didn't even bring up, so let us know what strikers you have in mind, or how you would go about with the striker solution come January or the summer. And also, if you haven't already done so, check out the memberships. We have 4 different tiered memberships starting at 99p. But if you are a proper casual and higher tiered member, you get shout outs at the end of every show. That's going to be going out to OG Turbo Jesus, Dark, Scott, Adrian, Will, and A. Solomon. Thank you guys for your support, and thank you for the support of everyone else who is a member as well. But that being
Justice for the
said,
99p. Joking.
that being said, thank you guys for joining in, and as always, stay casual. Have a good night. Peace.